Hello and welcome to another episode of the Underhive Lorekeepers podcast. This episode proudly sponsored by avoiding our families, because if we don't, well, we'd have to spend time with our families. As always, I am Samuel, and to my right, can't think of anything funny about him today. It's Nathan. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. That's probably the funniest thing you said. I know my wife sometimes listens to this, so no, I'm not avoiding my family. I love my family. They are the coolest and the best.
Is it avoiding your family where that... Because typically Nathan and I record like quite late at night. We're at dinner's had, the kids go to bed, that sort of thing. And I was lucky. So it's Saturday and I'd been out and I sort of came home and I was just like, yep, cool, you know. She goes, are you recording tonight? And I said, yeah. She goes, just head out there now, it's fine. And it's like, baby, it's midday. We're not recording for a few hours yet. She said, no, that's okay. You can just away with you. Like, oh. So, you know, joke's on her. I got nothing. I think she's kicking me into the garage. I'm not allowed in the house anymore.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're being kicked out of your house, by the way. Just word to the wise here. It's not actually a case of some sort of generous offer. This is slowly you'll be going from the garage to the front of the garage to the street. No,
the locksmith said he was only changing the locks to the beg house. The garage is firmly mine. I make one joke about putting some Necromunda miniatures on the mantelpiece in the living room, and this is the reaction my wife has had.
You should put some up.
No,
put some minis up.
I think it's a fair. I've got a couch out here. It folds out to a bed. I've got a fridge. Let's be honest, my minis are out here. What else do I need?
No, you have everything that a grown man needs. Minis, fridge, couch. Done. Thank you very much.
I've got a microwave. I've got a coffee machine.
Oh, mate, you're actually living in luxury.
Yeah, boom.
I'm not going to say I'm jealous, but yeah. Anyway, how have you been, sir, other than being... moved off to a separate colony?
No, I've not been. I haven't basically been sent to the modern day equivalent of Australia. No, things are good. It is school holidays here, and so as a lot of people know, we're going to get quite personal into my life here. I have two children, and so my son, my nephew is basically his best friend, and so my son and nephew are both staying at my parents' place tonight. Basically, spend time with their grandparents, and they're going to stay up late watching. They're going to eat so much sugar and watch movies, and it's great, and I love that. And so my wife and my daughter and myself, we ended up getting Grilled, which is like a burger chain here in Australia, and we were watching TV on the couch with our daughter, and she got to pick the show, so she loved it. And my wife looked at me and she just said, right now we only have one child. I went, yeah. And she goes, this is a holiday. One child is genuinely a holiday. And we're like, it's so easy. It's just, what do you want to watch? And she wants to watch, this show, Creature Cases, which is just ridiculous. And I've watched every episode. And so we do that. And then there's no arguing. There's no fighting, mainly because they both gang up on me. So I don't bother. Yep. And it's really easy. And Nathan, I need to know, does me being thankful that my son is at my parents' house and now I only have one child to be bent under their will, does that make me a bad father?
No, surprisingly, and this is going to shock you, makes you a bad hobbyist. Somehow, I've done the maths. There's a blackboard up behind me, and just makes you a bad hobbyist. There's a lot of things that make you a bad hobbyist, but unfortunately, that's also within the sphere, enjoying the presence of only one of your children.
Damn.
Yes.
All right. Okay. What's been going on with you?
Well, folks, an update to my life. I'm getting to the bitter end. It's
you are very old.
Yep.
We could do is I believe it's the Inuit. They put you onto like a piece of like a glacier, and they just push you out into the sea.
I reckon I'd be into it.
Okay.
This thing on.
Yeah, it's on.
Anyway, no, I'm getting to the bitter end of my working away, my selling a house, buying a house, living with the in-laws. It's all culminating in I could be living in something that is my own place sooner rather than later. Dun, dun, dun.
So we can start recording stupid long episodes again?
Yes, that's it, folks.
Oh, buddy.
Prep your ears for 8 hours of me mispronouncing words and just coughing a lot.
I'm done. Like we're 100% down with this. Let's do it. Get the house. Get the house for no other reason except for we can finally re-record the Enforcers episode.
Yes, absolutely. That is coming, folks. And there's a little nugget out there called the Uranthian Succession. And we also need to talk about our views on the new Necromunda that's coming.
Yes.
Let's not shy away from it.
Yes.
But we'll do that in another episode. We don't know where or how or when, but we're doing that something differently. So it might have been released before this, might be released after this. That is the mystery of us in a disorganised mess.
I do love disorganised mess. Now, speaking of disorganised mess, this is coming out. I sort of looked at it then. This episode would be coming out when each year we should be doing Ginormagantuan Hyper Mega Sodaversary episode, birthday spectacular.
Episode.
This is technically the birthday episode, so.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! No. There is no singing of Happy Birthday until we do the actual episode. So, let's just say that because we can blame Nathan being away, and that's the only reason why we're not doing it. We can blame Nathan for technically being quote unquote homeless. We can blame Nathan for the general smell. There's lots of things we can blame on Nathan, but in reality, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot. And then me and Nathan have spoken multiple times about what the next, because obviously every year for the birthday, we pick a lore idea or like a theme to what we want to hear from you. And I think at one point I started telling people that I wanted them to make me feel feelings. And
that's right.
Then we just completely forgot to tell the wider audience. So...
Well, I will take the blame a little bit for this as well, because we have been very, very busy in trying to organise times where we can actually record.
Yes.
And so a lot of the groundwork that we do and a lot of the behind the scenes that we do to come up with ideas and all that kind of stuff has been sort of pushed to the wayside to just take advantage of the moments that we have to record. So just bear with us, folks. We will come back with a vengeance when I'm in my new house.
So why don't we push it back till like... What we
Let's
say?
do August 8th. August 8th, right? Because August 8th is the 8th of the 8th, and it's 2 days after my birthday.
I knew that. And, okay, so we'll say, let's say the August 8th then. Let's say August 8th, and what can the lore theme be? Or do we just be like, write us like a Michael Bay style action spectacular?
Oh, that is awesome. Folks, this is the first time I've heard this idea. That is such a cool idea. Just an action sequence. Like, if you want to give your character...
Okay.
Characters, people, whatever, you want to give them a little bit of life, we'll happily listen to that. But an action sequence is the main thing. I remember, and we're going for 10 minutes of an intro so far, but I feel like chatting. I remember years ago, I wrote a Warhammer 40,000 action sequence of jet bikes fighting Chaos Space Marines.
Who won?
And the Chaos Space Marines, because back then I played a lot of Chaos, and I've always hated Xenos Scum. But my high school teacher absolutely, like, what was her words? She said, "It's boring." Do you know what, lady? You don't get it. I'm not writing some soppy romantic nonsense that's going to make you feel warm and cuddly with a glass of wine in front of a fire. I'm writing about bolt guns tearing into canopies of jet bikes, about guardians on the back exploding through to like thermonuclear warheads or whatever it was that I wrote. I can't quite remember.
That teacher then stole his idea, and that teacher grew up to be J.K. Rowling.
Probably, but it annoyed me so much. So, folks, help me get rid of my childhood trauma and write me action sequences that I won't call boring, that I won't want to know about. Oh, but what was his love interest, or what was the emotional connection he had to that magazine that he quickly inserted into his rifle? I don't want to know that. I want to know how stuff blows up. I want to know how stuff gets shot at, how guts get splattered. If you haven't seen the show Invincible, go watch Invincible and build your action sequences around that.
I had never seen that show, and then when you first went away the other month, I watched every episode over a weekend because I just had no one to talk to. Like, we record on weekends. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. Oh, I say a weekend. I think it was like a week. I watched every episode over a week.
I watched Invincible not knowing what it was about, and I thought it was going to be sort of like X-Men circa 1997, 95 sort of thing. And then stuff started like blowing up and exploding and guts flying everywhere, and I was like, oh, this is not for the kiddies, this one. So, yes.
So we put our children into the other room so they could play with Thomas the Tank Engine, and we went back to watching Invincible.
So you're hearing the idea on the fly, folks. Done. We might modify it by the time we get to the next episode, but not beyond the fact of
action.
We want action. Yeah.
Give us your lore action. Done. And the prize will be whatever we can think of at the time. And we're not, and I know I say this every year, we're not just going to be like, everyone that got read out gets a prize. I'm sick of doing that. It cost me way too much money. So, no, it'll be like 3 people. 3 people will get prizes.
Yep.
Fair?
And, yes, I say this with a grain of salt. Feel free to rip off action movies if you have seen them.
Oh!
If you can put Necromunda into something like, I don't know, what's a cool 80s action movie?
Braveheart.
Wrong. No, the other one, which
Once We're Warriors.
Sylvester Please don't do Once We're Warriors. It's too... It'll be the one scene written about 700 times. Make the man some X.
Yep. Make the man some starch.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's an action movie with Sylvester Stallone and I can't think who else.
Are you going to say Kurt Russell and Tango and Cash where they escape from the prison?
It. Yeah. Yes.
Amazing movie.
Yeah. If somebody was to write that in a Necromunda sequence, I'm not going to say you're going to win, but my gosh, I'll be very thankful.
Okay, done.
However, if somebody wants to do a Once for Warriors themed one, I would have no trouble reading that.
Just the scene where Jake beats up the guy who puts on the jukebox in the pub, except they're all Goliaths, except Jake is an unborn, and he's just like, oh, bro, too much stims. Not enough speed work.
I think this could be quite exciting. This could be funny. I'm still certain Harry Bob will make us feel.
Harry Bob is banned from entering.
Horrible emotion.
Harry Bob is banned from entering. Every time he enters, I want to cry. He sent me a text message just asking me how I was the other day, and I was just like, well, there I go. And I started crying. And then, I wasn't allowed to buy beer that night. The person said I was unhinged.
You've been bobbed.
Yeah, you got bobbed.
You got bobbed. Right. Yeah. Okay. Great idea. I don't know if you thought about that on the fly.
I
or
did.
If that was something. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Action, baby.
Action.
That's
Done.
what we want. Yep. Now, again, folks, we're doing another Vespid-esque episode. But do you want to tell the good folks what they need to know about our socials?
Absolutely. If you do enjoy the show and you are interested in supporting the podcast, please shoot over to patreon.com/the Underhive Lorekeepers podcast.
Shoot as in an action sequence.
Just like an action sequence. We are 100% funded by the goodwill of our audience, though we do this for the love of our hobby. Each month we have a Patreon exclusive episode, as well as competitions, polls on episodes, and other bonus content. If you are looking for another way to support us, get onto our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. A like and subscribe, comment also helps us get and grow. I've screwed this up badly. A like, comment, and subscribe helps us grow and get our particular brand of lore out into the world. All of our links will be in the show notes. And don't forget to give us a 5-star review on your preferred podcast platform. And we do merch.
We do merch. Not action merch, but merch.
Not action. We need an action. We need more merch. God, well, someone pointed out the fact we only do one shirt. They're like, do more shirts. Well, we'll do more shirts.
We'll do more shirts. When I'm in my new house, folks, the revolution will be coming.
Yep, done.
The revolution will be here.
And yeah, so earlier I mentioned being a bad father. Now, no, we're not talking about you this episode, Nathan, but we are talking about quite possibly the worst father in the history of all sci-fi universes. And in Warhammer 40k, yeah, we're talking about the Emperor. No, we are. We're talking about how the Emperor is a terrible father.
Okay, all right, we can do that. We can't talk about the Emperor. I feel like that's a taboo subject. Like you don't talk about the kind of. I'm going to go on a slight derail here. The kind of clout.
It's been a 17-minute opening. For the
this
love
is not the
of
opening.
the God Emperor.
This is actually the episode. This is the episode
okay,
now.
Fair.
Yeah. But you need a lot of, I guess, social media or internet presence. I don't know what it is. I'm not savvy with all that. But you need a lot of clout behind you if you wish to talk about the Emperor and give your opinion. If you're just some Joe Blow off the street who's liked Warhammer 40,000s for 6 months and you start gasbagging about the Emperor, sit down. Sit down, sir. You do not mention his name. So I think you could talk about Horus. You could talk about the greatest Primarch, Sanguinius. You could talk about all of these wonderful heroes, but you just skirt around the fact of the Emperor. You need a certain amount of je ne sais quoi to talk about the Emperor.
We're talking about the Emperor. We're talking about how he's a terrible father.
No, I refuse. The Ecclesiarchy will come and burn my new house down.
We are actually touching
I'll be leading them.
We are touching on a group of individuals from way back when, and this is some really old Warhammer 40k lore. It is actually a group known as the Sensei. So long before the birth of the Imperium, the Emperor lived in hiding amongst ordinary men. And during this time, he fathered many families. Not all members of the lineages fathered by the Emperor produce an individual known as a Sensei, but the offspring of one or any of his kin have this potential hidden in their genes. Now, the most obvious trait of the Sensei is their immortality, which, unless they are felled by a sudden death, makes their appearance ageless, and non-lethal wounds mend inhumanly fast. Their genetic structure, so close to that of the template of the emperors, allows them to be unimpeded by chaotic influence, connected to their harmonious state of mind that knows no hate, bitterness, nor irrational anger, radiating instead natural confidence. In accordance with this stoic attitude, their psychic abilities, like those of the Emperor, can be used without any danger from demons or other malicious influences, suck it Malal, freely drawing upon the powers of the warp. In fact, said chaos powers are utterly invisible to them due to the Sensei's lack of those emotions the gods of chaos prey upon. It is their status as powerful psykers, unhindered by the ever-present danger of chaos, that makes the Sensei a threat and a target to the forces of the Inquisition. You're just staring at me.
So I don't actually believe we're doing this.
No, we are. We're doing an episode on the Sensei.
Had about 700 intros in the Vespid episode, so I'm yet to be convinced.
No, I'm 100% serious. We're talking about the true children of the Emperor.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, this is gonna get weird.
I'm waiting for you to go on to something like the Harad or something.
No. No. So what actually happens is, because we know, and I truly would love to do an episode on the Emperor, but just like Nathan said, it's not something you can just be like, we're going to talk about the Emperor. That is a 24-hour episode of just talking, like just everything. But these cool little, like, and I want to call them like early age lore pieces. Like this goes back to like the Realm of Chaos Slaves to Darkness books. Like that's where a lot of this comes from.
And this is stuff that dropped out of normal lore.
Yes, this was brushed over in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So this is stuff that I read about ages and ages and ages ago. Probably once I was working for GW, people had mentioned it, and there was back then there wasn't like the ease of and access of information that we have now. So it was something that was mentioned, and then pretty much gone, well, it's not relevant anymore. So don't even worry about it.
The lore evolved past it to a certain extent.
I think the Sensei would be something that I think GW, a modern GW, would say, no, we don't acknowledge this.
They still acknowledge it.
They acknowledge the Sensei.
There are certain, and we will touch on it later. In certain ways, the Sensei are still actually acknowledged in quote unquote modern lore. Now,
wow.
So what we've gone over there is they are genuinely they are the sons of the Emperor.
And daughters?
They are only sons.
Right.
So this is
definitely written in the 80s.
This is a sort of patriarchal lineage directly from the Emperor. So you got to remember the Emperor is from like 10 or 20,000 years ago from our time. So his line has been continuing for, in some cases, like 40,000 years, 50,000 years.
Yeah.
And like looking at that, the actual father to son, father to son, father to son, like it says in that read, not every every male born from those lineage are one of these Sensei.
Yeah.
But that tiny, tiny percentage of them are. And they are automatically immortal unless they are taken by sudden death. They appear ageless. So in my mind, it's that it's Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire. Is it Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt?
Interview with them. They are both.
Yeah,
yes.
where they reach that age where it's just, this is their quote unquote peak. This is your the highest point. You're most attractive, you're most youthful, you're strongest, and that's the way that, to me, the Sensei will always appear, because they are ageless, they are strong, they are fast, they have the psychic connection. But interestingly enough, the Emperor is a psyker, is quite possibly the psyker of everything.
Yeah.
But originally, the Sensei were all blanks. So they were they were the complete opposite. They were total blanks. They were blanks to the point of, around regular blanks, psyches get that wave over them of just the darkness. I can't see you. It ruins their powers, etc.
Yep.
The Sensei cannot be seen by other psykers.
Wow.
The Sensei are... Have you ever seen Altered Carbon?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's that assassin fella that has the technology on him that, like cameras, he's invisible to them. That's how I picture the Sensei being to regular psykers.
So where the Sisters of Silence on Prospero, the Thousand Suns were able to target them because they could see nothing in that area.
Correct.
You're saying the Sensei don't even give off that. They just give
From
off like
what
this.
I've read, yes, they are just not there. Like they it's not that they don't see anything there. It's just if you walk into a house and when you're doing a house inspection, you look at an empty room, you're like, okay, there's just nothing in this room. Whatever, keep going. It's not like, well, there should be a room there. The room doesn't exist. That's where the sisters are. Bomb that room.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you just would. So then psychers would be able to see regular people as well.
Of course.
Yeah. So what they're seeing is just it's almost alien. It's not like they're seeing nothing. They're just completely unrecognizing of what a sensei is.
Yes.
So they might, if they were looking with their eyes, they would say, "I can see a person there." But if they were looking with their psychic eye, it's just like it's not even a void. It's just nothing there. Yeah, right. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
When you first did the read and you were talking about the offspring, the way I interpreted that was that it's the direct offspring of the Emperor, but it's not. This is a vast amount of people that the Emperor's, I guess, DNA and genetics are in.
Yes.
And then it's when you talked about like the idea that not all of them are present, it's kind of like where you see somebody and then they show a picture of their great-great-grandmother or grandfather or something and you're like, oh my God, it's a split image.
Yes.
Like identical. And that's kind of what we'll call it the Emperor gene is doing. It's staying in the background until, the perfect criteria is met within the individual and then it manifests itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And interestingly enough, so like we said, these are the children of 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 the Emperor. And that gene that exists within that genetic line will randomly raise its head above water, and that child, he will become one of the sensei. All right? Now, interestingly enough, when one of those children becomes one of the sensei, they are infertile. They cannot pass that lineage on.
That's something I was about to ask. So, because if you were to find lots and lots of sensei, you'd be like, well, let's just get these ones breeding because we're going to make more mini emperors, but they lose their capacity to pass that on. So how does it pass? Oh, because the gene is still within their other brothers and sisters and all the rest of them. And so it begins to disperse itself. This makes me feel like, and we've only just started this episode, but it makes me feel like we need to do an episode about the Eternals.
Well,
the Eternals?
we will be talking about them during this episode.
Because it's like, to me, there is a clear connection between the
Perpetuals is the word you're looking for, by the way.
Perpetuals, that's it. I was thinking of the Marvel movie, The Eternals, and I was like, no, it's not that because I didn't like that movie.
Yes.
The Perpetuals, yes. Right, John Grammaticus. Shout out to you, sir. You are a legend. Do you want me to read something then? Am I allowed to look at what we're reading? Or?
So, in regards to what you've said, so the sensei themselves, like we've gently touched on it, but already you've mentioned a couple of things here, like just look at it. We've already said they are a target to the forces of the Inquisition.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you think that, like the direct genetic descendants of the Emperor would be a target to the Inquisition, Nathan?
Because there can be only one, and the Emperor is basically like a Highlander and is using the Inquisition to hunt down anybody like him and kill them. It's episode over. Well done, folks.
Yeah, that was great. Well done. All right. Thanks very much. Head over to Patreon.
Obviously, if you can get more things... So, if you're part of the Inquisition, you are very well aware of the Chaos Gods.
Mm.
And you would ultimately see the Emperor as your good guy side Chaos God. That's the way I look at it. That's the Chaos God that's got my back. That's not the Chaos God that's trying to spread pestilence and disease or have whole planets dedicated to naughty no goodness.
Mm.
So if you could generate more and more of these kind of soldiers, not necessarily like, cheap mockeries or forgeries of the Emperor, but things that you could potentially use as very powerful weapons against the forces of chaos, would you not try to track them down so that you could use them more efficiently and effectively than them just, bounding around system to system in a way that's not a concerted and coordinated effort against the forces of chaos? Then obviously, yes, the question is, yes, I would round up as many as I can and try to utilize them better because I know better because I'm the Inquisition.
I like that. I want to see how that opinion changes by the end of the episode. So, do you have the next read handy there?
I do because you shared it with me after surprising me. Right, let's have a look here. The Sensei have adapted to living in hiding within the ranks of humanity, ignorant of their true heritage. Over the millennia, they have been vilified as witches and devils solely for their immortality. The Sensei often take the mantle of heroes who wander the galaxy fighting both chaos and often Imperial oppression, sometimes in the company of bands of other equally rebellious individuals, including xenos and abhumans. In the age of the Imperium, few others than the Sensei themselves and the Illuminati are aware of their existence, other than as folk tales of the Captain Eternal or the Wandering Inquisitor. Even the Sensei are at first unaware of their own nature, finding it simply a fact of their lives that they differ from others and must hide those differences from other humans. Through their travels, they might unravel the mystery of their existence, often as a result of meeting another more experienced member of their kind. Throughout their quest for righteousness, they might discover it themselves, found by the spirit of the Emperor in the warp, and enlightened towards their destiny as his scions. Some Sensei may flee to join the forces of chaos and become Grey Sensei, becoming amongst the cruelest of dark servants. Their nature might also be revealed to them by less benevolent individuals who might obfuscate some parts of the truth, like the Illuminati, a secret faction of Inquisitors who keep knowledge of the Sensei hidden from their fellow Inquisitors and the rest of the Imperium. Hold the phone.
Oh, Nathan.
Grey Sensei.
So
you absolutely... I'm going to use this in the most harshest tone possible. You no good nicks.
So the concept of the Grey Sensei actually comes from the realm of chaos, Lost and the Damned. Now, in this one here, the Sensei themselves are effectively champions, funnily enough, of what you said, of the Emperor in the form of a chaos god. So basically, once the... in fact, I'll give you a quick read from the book here. As the Emperor lay dying, his psychic energy ebbed from his body. The immortality which had sustained him for so many centuries was no more, and the weight of age descended upon him. His body shrunk and his bones cracked. His eyes sank into his skull and his skin darkened. So all that remained inside his armor was a shriveled, mummy-like thing. Honestly, if you were an Avon rep at the Siege of Holy Terror, you would have made an absolute fortune selling moisturizer to the custodes at that point.
Anything will do.
Released from his body, the Emperor's psychic power, his soul was cast adrift from the tides of the warp, to be carried on the random undercurrents and eddies of the Sea of Souls until such time as it was ready to be reborn. Although the powers of chaos hunted tirelessly through the warp for the Emperor's soul, they could not find it. The warp is huge, and its energies dispersed and flowing. Like the shamans of ancient times, the Emperor was at one with the whole warp, so his soul melted easily and into it, and so remained hidden from the chaos powers. So this is obviously when the Emperor's physical body has been put onto the Golden Throne. His soul has separated and has gone into the warp. Now,
can I just say, he's gone into hiding, yes?
Yes.
As a soul.
Yes.
He sounds very much like the One Ring, trying to hide.
He's effectively the One Ring, yes.
He's the One Ring, trying to hide from Sauron.
Yeah, the Malkador the Sigillite is actually crouched behind the Golden Throne, stroking the Emperor's head, saying, "Precious." Now, so what eventually happened is the core of the Emperor's power remained inside a mixture of this soul and the body on the Golden Throne, and the soul actually created the perpetual state of waiting for something known as the Star Child. The Star Child was going to be the new body for the Emperor, where the Emperor's soul would grab onto this child and be reborn into sort of human life. Now, while that happens, the Emperor has effectively, at this point in the lore, almost become a chaos god, where he's able to manipulate the warp and give power to those champions of his. And in this respect, the Sensei effectively became champions of the chaos power of the Star Child. So what would happen is these Sensei would... They could effectively maybe even recognize that they themselves are beings of massive power, being unaware of their lineage and unaware of where their power comes from, but simply know that they are individuals of greatness. So what's to say that they don't become, as you said, naughty no good nicks? So they are effectively... I don't know, like not necessarily a death knight, but like a paladin who's not above punching you in the back of the head.
Yeah, a chaotic good paladin.
Yeah.
Right. So the way that these Sensei read going out across the galaxy, it almost feels like they are sort of some vestige of hope for the Emperor. You know what I mean? So was this always a plan in some way, shape, or form to have just multiples of these spread out across the galaxy, being tested for, their ability to be corrupted by the forces of chaos or their understanding and so forth, and those who would then seek out or be allowed themselves to be sought out by the Emperor would then become these champions of the Emperor, would become these ones that would hold true to what the Emperor sees as the end game for humanity. Because I think we can all agree that the Imperium, as it is now, is not the vision that the Emperor had.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not, because he wanted that secular civilization.
Yes.
He wanted the unity to... I mean, the xenos stomping...
did he? We can argue about that on our Emperor episode. I don't believe he wanted to remove all worship. I simply think he wanted people to chill out for just as long as it could take for him to unite humanity and then get the whole Webway project going on. So then it wouldn't matter if you worshipped anyone because none of you would be using the warp.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, you are right, because when you think back upon the book, the short story, The Last Church, and the way he appears to that priest, he is exploiting that religious fanaticism there and allowing that priest to believe that the Emperor was something divine. He does it the same thing when he goes to Mars as well.
He does.
He steps onto the planet and is basically like, I am the machine god. I'm paraphrasing here and happy to be corrected, but I think, it's quite a broad stroke. So yes, when we say secular, I guess that was the voice that was given to the Space Marine legions to go off and create this Imperium that could definitely be long lasting, because we are getting rid of anything that is not the Imperium in the Great Crusade. And so if they're worshipping something, give them the old stomp out. If they're not worshipping something, give them the old stomp out. If they look different to humans, give them the old stomp out. So that was about creating a big, broad brushstroke. But these Sensei are almost embedded agents, sleeper agents within this Imperium that are there to defend the Imperium, but the Emperor's Imperium. So when in the read where it says that they often fight against imperial oppression, that is because humanity is the key goal. It is not about, and the things that we love about Necromunda, where we talk about tides and we talk about, devotions to the production and the manufactorum, and we talk about the great impact that the administratum has and so forth. Those are not the important things. It's the humanity that is important. And so the Sensei, from just the little bit of information we've garnered already, view to me as protectors of this humanity, of the defenders of the concept of what the Emperor was talking about. And I think being immortal allows them to be able to see the degradation of humanity and try and change its path and correct its pathway well before it goes into something utterly horrific, something that they may have seen happen on a different planet or a different system.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no is a complete sentence. That's my answer there. No, I don't think the Emperor thought that far ahead. I think that...
No, I don't. I know I'm not... That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying the Emperor said, I'm going to end up,
No. I understand that part.
Throne. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that part. I don't think they were seen to be anything beyond... I'm alive for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I'm going to invent this thing called Tinder and, maybe have something to do on my Saturday nights except planning to how I'm going to become like this future space god. No, I get that. I think I believe to a certain extent that the Sensei were quite possibly an unexpected byproduct of simple human reproduction.
But that gives off the concept that the Emperor was just like getting jiggy with it. Just decided, do you know what, young lass, you and me and a bottle of wine, let's see where the night goes, sort of thing.
Yep.
Right. And you think he has then gone, I didn't mind that. That was good. We can do that a few more times.
Well, I think if you are a creature, and I say creature here very on purpose, if you're a creature of quite literally limitless mental capability who is able to use his psyche to literally bend existence, and you know you are quite possibly going to live 5 ever, like you are going to want to experience the is gamut the right word here? Like the full gamut of
definitely
the human experience, where you understand you're no longer a regular human, but part of that is finding someone to spend your life with. And I think that given he has been alive for tens of thousands of years, there would quite possibly be thousands of such individuals where he has formed relationships, he has had families, and he's mysteriously died, or he's just moved away because, you know, everyone is getting old. His kids suddenly look older than him, or like he would have to continue on through the length and breadth of human existence.
Yeah.
And I believe the Sensei is simply been, where, one of my children has blue eyes, the other doesn't. Like it's that recessive gene where,
Well, I guess I see what you're saying. It's as you say, quite well. It's just a byproduct of being part of the human existence. That to live normally and to live effectively as a human, he needs to be doing all of these things, especially in certain time periods. But then that brings us back to the Sensei. I guess there is no definitive end goal of what and who they are, but then they are cursed with the same issues that the Emperor has of this immortality. And it even says in that read there that over the millennia they have been vilified as witches and devils solely for their immortality. So,
which brings us back to, I believe there would be male and female Sensei, witches and devils. The lore about it does change depending on the source. In the Realms of Chaos books, it specifically states that they are sons. In other books, it states that they are sons and daughters. But we'll touch on some of that stuff later on. My apologies, I interrupted.
No, but I think the sons and daughters aspect, I think, is fine, because we're talking about this gene or this DNA or whatever that needs to come along at a certain point. And so I think it's a bit unwise to think of it only affecting male candidates. I could definitely see it affecting women, but my point and my point of understanding is that we now have these beings who we know are able to garner information about themselves, whether they do it through their own journeys or meeting up with, other wanderers or other Sensei. If you have this sense of immortality, then there must be a higher purpose that you are existing for. And that would make sense why there would be Grey Sensei, because there is a sense of purpose and a sense of understanding, a sense of simplicity that could be provided from the Chaos Gods. Especially in the form of Khorne, where it's go off, kill, blood for the Blood God. That's the most important thing you need to do. And if you have something like a Sensei on your side, or as one of your worshippers, that's a whole new level of devotee, a whole new level of demagogue that you can use on your side. But it's the ones that are still fighting for the Imperium against the forces of chaos. Do you think that perhaps they have an ingrained understanding that the forces of chaos are the ultimate enemy? That they are the things that put my great-grandfather times 72,000 in that chair? You know what I mean?
You mean the great uncles and auntie of the Sensei? No, I agree 100%. I think, but as like in the read you said, they sometimes don't even realize what they are. Even the Sensei are at first unaware of their own nature, finding it simply a fact of their lives that they are different from others and must hide those differences from other humans. And like these individuals, much like blanks in modern day 40k, are forced away from their societies because they're almost pariahs, ironically, because it's the pariah gene. And they sort of go out and during their travels, they may almost be drawn to one another. Groups of Sensei would come together and effectively say, hey, this is who and what you are. Or they get found by one of these Illuminati nutjobs, who we will talk about later, who are basically saying, hey, you shouldn't exist. Kind of like Hayden Christensen in the movie Jumper, where he was able to jump sort of to anywhere he could see an image of. Very cool movie. Samuel L. Jackson plays like this very religious fundamentalist, like bounty hunter. He's a nutjob. It's awesome. But I love it because, during your read, over the millennia, they've been vilified as witches and devils solely for their immortality. Something that isn't their fault. It's not their fault they can't die. Now, the Sensei often take the mantle of heroes who wander the galaxy fighting both chaos and often Imperial oppression. They are genuinely the good guys and gals of the galaxy. And they gather these groups of rebellious individuals, including xenos and abhumans, which I just love. In fact, in the Lost in the Dam book, you can actually create a Sensei adventurer band. And so you've got like the rebel human or rebel human psychers or squat rebels or ogrins, then Senseis, navigators or elder, like as part of this warband. Like
that's cool. And that's really
cool.
Awesome because, but then it is about then furthering the. To me, it says they would have some sort of connection and understanding about the Emperor's goal. Defense of the Imperium.
But it specifically states they will often fight Imperial oppression. I believe they are just intergalactic goodies.
Yeah, because they're fighting for humanity. Forget the Imperium.
They're not fighting for humanity. They're fighting against chaos and oppression. So I believe they would be willing to fight against, hyper-aggressive elements of the Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum against innocent craft welders. From that there, I believe they would be looking at it and saying, Imperial oppression, no, leave those abhumans alone. Like, get back and then start, form a rebellion to fight against a planetary governor because of the way they've been treating, the mutant underclass. Like,
I agree.
And that's the thing. But during these travels, they go out there and you know what? Maybe they just have a little bit of a like a dickish mentality. Maybe they're just a little bit cruel, or they're a bad drunk, or whatever it is, and that's when they start looking at becoming those grey Sensei. Maybe they look at it and go, I've fought this chaos cult, and that sword. Oh, I really like that sword. I really like it. Next thing you know, you've cut off your own eyelids, and you don't want to, you don't like your skin anymore. But who has nice skin? That fella over there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm down definitely with the concept of them being wandering heroes of the universe and not just heroes of humanity. That makes a great deal of sense, because I think ultimately the goal of the Emperor is not necessarily a galactic empire under the rule of humanity, but it is peace for humanity. go out there and crush the evil alien races and any other forces that you find during the Great Crusade, not because we want to be oppressors, but because we need to understand that the only peace for humanity comes through the rule of the Emperor.
Yeah.
So the being the sons and daughters, direct sons and daughters, effectively, of the Emperor, the concept would be that any form of oppression would look like something that the Emperor would be fighting against. Yeah. All right. I'm definitely down for that. It was a good idea. I like that. That then potentially these Sensei are fighting along, orcs who are being oppressed by the Imperium. Yeah. Good call. No, I'm joking, but no. He just has to paint himself green or herself green. And they're like, you know what? A bit weedy, but mate, what a fighter.
Mate, what a fight. Ripped the knob's arms clean off, beat him to death with them.
Never been to a Mad Dog, though. Like, a bit sus on that. Keeps getting wounded, never goes to the Mad Dog. Interesting.
Dead hard. Dead hard.
Dead hard. That's his actual name, Sensei Dead Hard. Yeah.
Yep, love it. Okay, but before we talk about like a genuine descendant of the Emperor joining an orc war, I'm going to jump into the next read because I'm now genuinely picturing a Sensei in like green face paint, like the diggers from Gorkamorka. And he's just walking. He's like, all right, fellas, I have a feeling that if we attack Armageddon from this angle, we'll actually, better bypass the Imperial defenses. And there's these orcs just staring at him like, what's he saying? I don't know, but the last one who questioned him got his face ripped off, so I was just nodding.
I was just nodding. And he's just got a translator there who just nods along with him, just like, and they all look to him. He's like, just sort of like,
he nods,
did you ever
so
see
they nod.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you ever see that fake Auslan, I think, translator? Where she was
just throwing gang signs and like just
throwing
her
hands
arms around.
up, and people are just like, yeah, that's what this orc translator's doing. It's like, no, he speaks weird orc. Yeah.
It's the you seen it's the Key and Peele where they're doing the Barack Obama thing, and he's the Luther, the translator, Barack Obama's speaking like very eloquently, and the translator's just losing his mind behind him,
just giving him proper gangster talk.
That's how I'm picturing this orc.
Who's going there? Are you scrubbing heads? Don't even look at me, mate. Don't even look. Eyes to the ground. And the Sensei's just like,
I like it. I like
it. Anyway,
yes.
Remember, short episode.
Episode, yes. Now, Nathan, this is actually where the Sensei start to get weird. We've only done 2 reads. We're about 6 hours into the episode. But this is where they actually get weird. Now, the Sensei are imbued with the powers of immortality and, unimpeded by chaos, psychic might. They may obviously tap into the immaterium to channel energy for combat, sense demons or disturbances in the warp, and have the power to mask their presence from other psykers. They are also born with the mark of the Star Child, which, even if they are unaware of its origin, bestows upon them various powers from the Star Child, the immortal soul of the Emperor. The mark, acting in an opposing manner to the mark of chaos, grants the Sensei powers based upon their favour with the Star Child. In the same way, a champion of chaos may be rewarded by a chaos god. Those powers are in defiance to powers of chaos, reflect the virtues of human existence, and, at times, come to counteract the will of chaos. Those virtues are known to extend an aura of protection against chaos that grows in power with each favour gained in the name of the Star Child, shielding those close to the Sensei. So, back here, back during like this section of I think this was from the Realms of Chaos, or no, was this Realms of Chaos or Lost in the Damned? This was Lost in the Damned.
Okay.
The Emperor is quite literally a chaos god of goodness, and as just like you do when you serve Khorne or Tzeentch or Slaanesh or Nurgle or I don't know, if you're really not doing great, Malal. You, as you serve your god and you're granted those blessings, you literally become a more powerful beacon to the will of your god of chaos. In this situation,
Allah, your demon prince.
Allah, your demon prince. Literally to the point of, there are these things called boons of the mark of the Star Child. All right? So, back in the Lost and the Damned, they were called the Star Child Rewards Table. And literally, when you got to a certain point, you would effectively roll. And it was out of a D100.
Of course it was, back in the day.
Back in the day, it was amazing. So, for example, a 1 to 10, the Sensei acts as a focus for the protective powers of the Star Child, powers which naturally help preserve his followers. Any member of the warband within 6 inches of the Sensei model may retake any failed saving throw once. This applies to any save, be it against shooting, hand-to-hand combat, or psychic attack where appropriate. The Sensei himself also benefits from this second saving throw. So it's literally, he becomes a conduit for the protective powers of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have something like, this is a great one, 11 to 15, Demon Slayer. The Star Child passes a little of his own powers into the Sensei, allowing him to channel more warp energy against demonic foes in hand-to-hand combat. All hand-to-hand combat attacks count as fully effective against demons, and automatically cause D6 wounds per hit against demons. Thus, if a demon is hit 3 times by the Sensei, it sustains 3 D6 wounds. So in reality, like, that's... because demons are, to a certain degree, incorporeal. Like, they are...
Yeah.
They're not affected by the regular attacks, but then it's once again, it's the power of the Emperor, the Chaos God, being pushed into this champion of him.
Well, and giving you the power of the Immaterium without the
negative side effects. Yes,
without the hindrances of the Immaterium.
Exactly.
So now, I'll continue with you doing. I've got a question for you, but I don't want to interject because it's going to throw us off.
Now, as these boons or grants grants, if you speak English wrong, so I got told off about saying vase instead of vase, and I was just like, no, that's not how we speak.
Who made you say it vase?
My mum. I said vase, and she's like, vase. I'm like,
disown her.
Yeah, no, you're dead to me. But as you gain more and more of these boons from the Emperor, and there's all sorts of things. Swordmaster, you become better in close combat. Marksman, you become better at long range combat. Endurance, you become physically able to take more damage.
Yeah.
Athletic, you look better in a swimsuit, but also you're faster. Rescuer is a great one. Like, if anyone falls near the Sensei, they can attempt to save their comrade. Like, and there's a further roll, and sort of it just keeps going there. Then you have like never kills. The Sensei can never intentionally take a life. However, because casualties are always regarded as not necessarily dead, the Sensei fights and shoots exactly as normal. Any casualties caused by the Sensei are removed from the table, but do not need to roll for casualty recovery after the game. They are automatically alive once the battle is over and can be returned to their units, Chaos Warband, or whatever. Although the Sensei does never kills, this does not apply to creatures which are not actually alive. For example, undead creatures or demons. These creatures can be slaughtered without any moral qualms, as they are After all, not real living creatures. In my mind, he's shooting kneecaps and feet, and like
he's the Batman of 40K.
He's the Batman of 40K.
Have you seen the meme where it's they don't kill you, your medical bills do?
Yeah,
you know?
yes.
That's what the Sensei's doing.
That's what the Sensei's doing.
And he can shoot somebody in the arm, and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't fight anymore." They're like, technically, I haven't killed you.
No,
so I'm gonna shoot
he shoots you in the knee, and then you fall off a building. It's like my shot didn't kill you.
Yeah.
Impact did.
But I could imagine the Sensei shooting him in all like non-lethal positions. It's like bang, bang, bang. Please stop. I'm not going to fight you anymore. Please.
I didn't kill you. Blood loss did. I'm still holy. Then you have heroic name. Basically, they assume a heroic alter ego by which he is known and feared by his enemies and praised by his supporters. The heroic name can be invented by the player, but can be along the lines of the Hawk, the Master Avenger, the Liberator, the Scarlet Shadow, or some other suitable title which describes his unstintingly dedication to liberty and freedom. A Sensei only has one heroic name. Further heroic name results count only as rewards towards an apotheosis result. So I'm genuinely saying that if you ever play a Sensei, your name must be Timmy Helmore. But anyway, we're getting there.
Just a quick note to the names. That section there just screams, yes, this book was written in the 80s / early 90s. Like, we get it. Like, everything was like some sort of cheesy action 80s movie
100%.
alignment.
100%.
Yeah. Anyway.
Then you have Master of Disguise. Basically, you're really good at hiding. The Redeemer, you become basically, and this is actually quite cool. The Sensei's example of heroic bravery and idealism is admired even by his foes. If the Sensei slays an enemy of hero status, including any champion of chaos, then the Sensei player can choose to spare him. If the Sensei has the never kills reward, then he must spare the character anyway. In either case, the model is still removed as a casualty, but is assumed to be knocked out, or otherwise unharmed, shot multiple times in the knees and ankles. The casualty takes no further part in the battle, but after the game he's assumed to be alive and unharmed. The enemy is so awestruck by this display of mercy that he is tempted to renounce his former allegiance and become a follower of the Sensei. Both players roll a d6 on behalf of their character. If the enemy character is a Chaos Champion, his dice score is doubled. If the Sensei's score is greater than that of his enemy, then the enemy renounces his former allegiance and joins the Sensei's adventurer band. In the rare event of a champion of chaos renouncing his patron, the power of the Star Child immediately removes any disfiguring chaos attribute, together with any associated bonus or ability. For example, Bestial Face is lost together with its associated gore attack. Any other rewards which are not physically disfiguring may be retained or removed at the Sensei's discretion. For example, Fast, Hypnotic Gaze, Magic Immune, etc. Many of these rewards will prove useful and serve as a reminder of the redeemed character's origin. Redeemed characters are individuals who have seen the light of the Star Child and are now dedicated to the destruction of their former masters.
I want a termagant. I want a termagant as my warband. Has seen the light, just be like, I'm with this guy. This guy gets it. He feeds me.
There you are. You're the gimme the cash guy, and you bust in to find this guy just surrounded by various hive tyrants. It's just, would you like my cash? Please let me go. And it's just, well, no, we are deciding to let you go. Would you like to join me? Okay. Cue, montage. He's now riding the hive tyrant into battle. But, yes, no, I love it. Redeemer is possibly one of the coolest things, because the idea that you can beat up a champion of chaos, like this champion of corn.
No, you don't worry about the champions of chaos. You can have them.
You beat the absolute snot out of them, and they're just like, You know what? That guy kicked my ass so badly.
Yeah.
I don't even want to maim, kill, burn anymore. Man, I kind of want to buy a Zen garden.
I want a full EV car, a Zen garden, and these disfiguring scars gone, please. No, I think you're being quite limited thinking about Chaos Champions. Forget them. That's like Redeemer on easy mode. Really venture forth out there. You know, Drakari and Eldar and you know, I'm thinking orcs who are just like Emmy's a boss, like just alien species who just go like something like the Harud or something like that.
I would love to see like a pair of former Death Skulls sitting there drinking like decaf mocha lattes, arguing their own personal interpretations of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. That's where this Redeemer thing sounds amazing to me.
Yep.
It's taken away from and this is like the thing that always gets me with like rules as written or rules as intended. So, you know, the rules as written, yes, you could do this to any champion. Rules as intended was like, okay, really you should be talking about humanoid, preferably sentient humanoid characters that you're bringing to your win.
Boring.
But the nature of bringing in, you know, a spore mine, you know, something like that. You're just like, that's mine now. Yeah. I own that because the Light of the Emperor has shown the spore mine the correct way to live its life. Or that gun drone. That gun drone is now just
Can you
like,
imagine beating an ethereal so badly that it's just like, I really don't like this greater good nonsense.
Yeah. Purge the Xenos. I get it. I become a self-hater. But yeah, if you just venture throughout all the different alien races, and just especially the ones that we don't get, you know, playable factions for or armies or anything like that. Even a Vespid. Imagine a Vespid. Just be like buzz 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 buzz. It's like
just buzzing for the Emperor now.
Yeah, exactly. I love the Redeemer. I think it's a fantastic trait, and but this is again a rule set that's just, you know, you sort of, when you read stuff like this, you're like, man, that would have been awesome to play.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you would have been like, I don't have 6 months to play 2 turns.
No.
So maybe not.
Yeah.
But the options, like it's so much fun, and it dabbles, and it sort of leads me into the question that I want to ask you, but I want to make sure, have we got anything else that you want to mention? Okay,
There's
yes,
one
I don't
more.
want to.
So 99 to 100 was the apotheosis. The Star Child recognizes the deeds of the Sensei and is drawn to examine them more closely. If the Sensei has 6 or more rewards already, then he is drawn through into the warp to join the Star Child. His mortal form vanishes, and he is turned into a Sensei Master, which I think is literally just the word master. But it's like ninja assassin, it just means assassin.
Or is it Toppin? Have you heard of that hill? Toppin How Hill or
it's
something
like
like that?
hill.
Yeah, hill. Yeah.
As such, he plays no further part in the game. If the Sensei has fewer than 6 rewards already, he is not yet ready to join the Star Child. Instead, he receives a reward consisting of an enhanced profile, increasing his number of attacks and number of wounds by 1 each. If the Sensei was previously unaware of the existence of the Star Child, then he now knows all about the Star Child, other Sensei, and their aims and objectives. Imagine, like, you've just won a battle, you turn around, and it's just like, oh my god, I know who my 11th great-grandfather is. I actually have these family members all around the known galaxy, and we're actually this amazingly powerful thing. Oh my god, I remember where I left my keys.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was about to say.
Wait, oh my god, Emperor. I mean, oh my god, Emperor. Did anyone hear me say that?
Yeah.
No? We're good.
Oh my god, Emperor Star Child? God Child?
Oh my god,
Star?
Grandpapa?
Yeah. Oh, my papa.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
So they literally
You're only-
ascend beyond humanity, effectively becoming a demon prince and joining with their god of chaos. You joked about it before. They literally become a demon prince. This is what chaos champions strive for.
Yeah.
One of my favorite books about chaos is Storm of Iron by Graham McNeil. And in that book, one of the whole points of the entire book was a character by the name of the Warsmith doing enough horrible crap to become a demon prince. He literally got that. If you are a sensei and you become a demon prince, you just realize that your Ancestry.com results came in and they were emailed directly to your brain.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what's funny about this? The Emperor takes the sensei off from and just goes, "That's mine now."
Yep.
Right? You're
I can
coming to
see
join
you
me.
now.
You're so
Come
amazing.
here.
Yeah, but the principle is that the sensei has a warband around them already, right?
Yep.
So what's happened to that poor warband? What's happened to my little termagant that has now chosen to fight for me? He just goes...
Well, basically, what
I'm
happens
wildly
is
confused.
it's kind of like in Necromunda, where if your leader dies or leader goes away, your next one sort of takes over.
One steps up.
Yeah. But in this position, it's going to be the rest of the warband's looking around. They're like, well, what are we going to do? Like, we saw... Timmy, the Scarlet Terror, ascend into the heavens and join the Emperor, the Starcher. What do we do? And they're all looking around, and then, the drink gets slammed down onto the table, and they all turn into the shadows, and he leans his head out, goes right forward, and Billy the Spore Mine is the new leader of this warband. And in celebration, he explodes,
waving.
killing everyone. Just
his will be done.
will be done.
That's the last psychic message from the Spore Line. His will be done.
Because the sensei's gone, so he's just like, wait a minute, I hate these idiots.
I got him, baby. Appease both the Emperor and the tyranny overlords.
Somewhere a Norn Queen just turns her head and is just like, nice, you can rejoin with me, my little star child.
Giggity. All right. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So this mindset of where we take the Emperor, do you think there is a place for that? Or no, not is there a place for it? Yes, there is certainly a place. Would you like to see modern 40K?
Yes, I know what you're asking.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
Really?
Okay. We're not turning this into an episode about the Emperor. That'll be an episode later on.
And this is why I wanted to wait for this question
I know.
until the end of what you were reading, because this is it can be quite a hefty answer. But we will limit ourselves to an Underhive Lorekeepers 2 minutes.
Okay.
So that could be anywhere from 13 seconds to 4 days.
I would love to see some of this weird nonsense return, purely for the fact of and the Horus Heresy novels with the Emperor sort of taking in all that power to fight Horus and becoming, I think it was the Dark King or whatever, I can't remember the name specifically. It gave so much credence to this old lore, this old of stuff there. Mm-hmm. And I would love for... it's like how when Magnus got smashed, he split into all these different shards. And, one shard was used to create the first, high principality of the Grey Knights. I can't remember what he's called. But there's these shards of Magnus, and they're all tiny fragments of his consciousness. Or the Catan, when they were shattered into these shards and scattered across the Necron Empire. But they still maintain this fractions of Catan power, but they're still so powerful. I would love for there to be a shard of the Emperor that is perpetuating himself as the Star Child, who has, it's this tiny fragment of the Emperor's consciousness who's just like, I kind of don't like how it all ended up,
Not on board with
I'm
this,
not on board with
the
this.
end results of the heresy.
Yeah, I think we should have done what Malkador told us not to do. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and perpetuate ourselves as a new Chaos God. I think that would be phenomenal. I would love that.
So are you saying, okay, explore this just a little bit deeper then, the concept that the Sensei or something akin to the Sensei is brought into the modern lore of 40k?
I think it's silly that it's not there already.
Okay, all right, interesting. Okay, yep. No, I don't agree with you at all.
That's fine.
Yeah, because what I like about 40k is that the Emperor is a nothing hope in a hopeless environment, and the concept of the Sensei gives too much hope. You know, it's kind of like the Sisters of Battle when they do their prayers and so forth. There are those around them who would see them going, the Emperor's blessing them. The Emperor's blessing is real. It does exist. And I'm not talking about just the in-universe lore. I'm talking as an audience taking this on. The Sensei is actual hope. It is a chance that a bolt gun, a chainsword, is not required to defeat the great enemy. You just need people of purpose, people of a greater being than yourself, and beyond the realm of a space marine. A space marine will never be at the level that a Sensei is. Even the most vaunted Primarch will never be at the level that a Sensei is, because the Sensei is this direct connection with the Emperor. It is a genetic connection beyond what any of the custodes could even dare to get within the realm of. But that's also the dangerous bit of it as well. The concept of the Sensei I like, but more as a mystery, more as like something of the lost Primarchs. Where they still exist, and they are these stories that even us as the audience taking in the lore go, there is that little tiny one granule of hope on a whole world of sand, that this Sensei concept is real, and it is something that can save humanity, truly save humanity, not just apply, a layer of hope as what, the prayers of the Sister of Battle do and so forth. Because that lack of hope takes the moments where it seems like the Emperor has blessed a battlefield or a person or something, or a preacher or a redeemer, and made them a conduit for his power. That magnifies that moment so much more.
But you don't think it gives more credence to the concept of the prayers of the Sisters of Battle because he's there now as an active Chaos God? Or maybe they are inadvertently praying, very similar to how when Harlequins die, their souls don't get fed to Slaanesh. Instead, Kegarak gets in there and does a little bit of woozle wazzle and takes them with him. Woozle wazzle's actually the Eldari term. It is actually. It's in the latest codex. If you just need to be dedicated fans.
Look
and
up
find
the new Exodite kill team. They're actually called the Woozle Wazzles.
I can't wait till those come out.
Know your lore, folks.
I want them bad. But I would love to say that when they're praying, that this fragment of the Emperor's consciousness that's representing himself now as the Star Child is actually getting in there and is the one granting those prayers.
So I agree with that point of view, that yes, the Emperor, this is their prayers are being listened to, very much like the requests of the Chaos Cultists of the Chaos Gods. In saying that, you mentioned about serving Malal. They're slightly off there. It's more Malal serves people. He's like, is there anything I can get you guys, please?
I actually want to stop the Malal bashing, because I've just been, genuinely, been thinking about it while we were talking. A Malal aligned Sensei would actually be perfect, because Malal obviously being the god of chaos, because Malal or Malice is chaos fighting against itself. Caleb Dark back in Warhammer Fantasy Battle fought for chaos and against chaos, and stood. I think it was the walls of Middenheim, and fought against. Like the forces of chaos defending humanity. But can you imagine a sensei with the powers of the Star Child, who was then corrupted to become a chaos champion of Malal, who fought everyone, who saw themselves as possibly the only true hope for humanity, and was trying to then unite using the Redeemer various war bands and armies and planets into a single cohesive force to then get rid of the xenos, or to push back on Tyranids, or to defeat the Necrons, or to push back the Eye of Terror itself. Like, can you imagine how awesome that would be?
Oh, you made me think about something there, and I wasn't with you until you said wipe out the Xenos. Then I was like, yes,
it's
absolutely, let's jump on that. But the thing that you are talking about there, and we've got to come back to what we were talking about with the God Emperor thing, but the thing that you're talking about is balance.
Yes.
This person wants balance. The universe doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be all for just humanity. It just needs to be balanced.
It just needs
so
balance.
The right amount of violence, the right amount of terror.
Stop it.
And this balance is, in my day-to-day life, everything to me is about balance. You don't need to be the best at something. You don't need to be the worst at something. You don't need to, be always available or whatever. Just provide balance in the way, in the clarity of your thought about how you're doing things. So you've triggered something in here that is actually very personal to me. So a Malal
aligned sensei.
A Malal aligned sensei with the idea that it's about balance.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
man,
it's just about it's just about chaos, where you can't allow good or evil. You can't allow the black or the white. You can't allow anything. It must be perpetually grey.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So the forces of chaos can't become too dominant. The Xenos forces can't become too dominant. But the humans also can't wipe out the Xenos the way that they want to. The Tyranids can't become this overbearing thing on the galaxy. They need to be ebbed back. So sometimes you unify your forces to fight against them. And the unification comes not just from what you're taking from humanity, but what all the resources are available to you.
Exactly.
So the idea that if you worship, and I don't enjoy saying this, but I'm going to say it, if you worship Malal, you can still fight against other members of Malal.
Yes.
Because the whole idea is and I think it was, it sticks with me. It's from the movie, I can't think of it. It's, what's his name? Pirates of the Caribbean guy.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp plays a guy in Mexico, and he talks about the concept of balance, and he eats this slow-cooked pork, and he says, it's perfect. But now I have to go back there and kill the chef because this slow-cooked pork can't exist in the world that I create in this little theatre because they all have to be of a similar sort of level. I can't have something that's a 5-star in a 3-star world.
Yep, I love it.
And so the forces of Malal would be, well, we can't have a Grand Poobah. No, even if it's the Sensei, we must go kill the Sensei because the Sensei is too powerful.
Yeah.
And this is what creates the balance of this continuous fighting amongst each other without that sort of hopeless desperation of the Imperium, but with more a sense of maintain something that looks like a continuous progression without it actually being progression. Oh, mate, you've germinated the seed of a 40k army. Anyway, just very quickly back to my point about the Emperor. I sidetracked just trying to be funny, and it's turned into actually something really cool. So I get what you're saying about the shard. The shard is what is listening to the prayers, but I think for a wider audience consuming the 40k lore, that's almost too much hope for the Imperium. I agree with what you're saying in the sense that this one shard of the Emperor is what's doing the work with the senseis. But it's so impactful when you read about the Sensei because they're so different to any other hero of the Imperium that we talk about, and maybe except, your saints and so forth. But your saints aren't necessarily always relevant to the material world.
Yes.
Do you know? So the saint coming to your battle, or a saint coming to your battle, is something almost unheard of. Whereas the Sensei, because it seems like they are out there, they could very well give you this hope that I think the humanity in 40k can do without. We need to be, humanity in 40k needs to be Necromunda. It needs to be that we win our battles, but we know the bullet's coming.
Yeah, you've depressed me now. I agree.
But that's the grim dark of it. You know what I mean? That's why I was asking you this question. But, mate, we've got to do a Malal balanced chat at some stage.
Yes.
I don't know when, but I honestly have the germination of an idea for an army. It would just be, wonderful. But anyway, let's get into
our next read.
This is we'll have this wrapped up in another 15 minutes, folks.
Yes.
Promises. In time, when the Sensei acquire enough favour with the Star Child, the Emperor's soul draws near his descendant. The Sensei at this moment disappear from the materium and stands before his patron. If the Sensei is found wanting, they are merely awestruck and slightly rewarded alongside the gain of the full insight into their nature and the connection with the Emperor, were they not aware of it already. If the Sensei is ready, the Star Child allows them to join him in his spiritual state, becoming a part of their shared essence. At this point, the Sensei becomes what is called a Sensei Master, and at the will of the Star Child or themselves is allowed to return to the material realm to act as the hand of the Emperor or as a self-righteous guardian of the innocent, drawn in bouts of emotional attachments, especially towards their former mortal comrades in need. In those apparitions, Sensei Masters rarely appear divine, sometimes even with different physicality than what they were known for in their mortal lives.
So you're telling me, and I'm going to interrupt you before I know you're going to say something pro-Emperor and all that sort of nonsense. You're telling me that in times of great emotional trauma or emotional attachments or whatever, they can literally be summoned from the Immaterium by their followers. Yeah, no, they're definitely... these Sensei Masters definitely aren't demon princes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they can appear to look different. It's like, hey, one-eyed Billy, you look different. Yes, I have two eyes now. And check it out. Look at these rippling abs.
And demon wings and demon claws. And I'm actually coming to kill you all because I need to sacrifice you to the... Corn Emperor.
Yes.
Emperor, the Star Child. You're getting sacrificed to the Star Child. Do your duty.
And then just like in WWE, oh my God, it's Billy Spormine with the steel chair.
So this... and this goes against my thoughts about the Imperium and humanity. This gives me too much hope. This is like, there's a moment that you're going to be pulled out of the fire. Do you know who does that in 40k? Space Marines. They're the ones that pull you out of the fire. But they don't pull out the warband member sitting there going, oh my God, I'm surrounded by 1,000 beastmen. I'm going to die. They pull out armies that are in trouble. They pull out hive cities and planets and so forth. So... This kind of hope in that very small scale, I'm like, I love the idea of the Sensei. These I guess, we'll call them shards of the Emperor fighting the good fight. But the fact that they can be drawn back from their spiritual state makes them just a little bit convenient, And I don't like that in 40k. I don't like convenience.
I'm sorry. I find it weird that you find this to be a hopeful thing. This, to me, genuinely feels like they are being allowed to build up enough power and enough sort of notoriety to then have their souls devoured by the Emperor via the medium of demonology and basically be sucked into him a la 1,000 psychers a day. Sorry, I got a little bit too real there. But he's basically allowing them to become powerful enough to maybe live for him on the material plane, so he can then absorb their souls and gain knowledge and sort of maybe gain just a little bit more. Because I'm still picturing him as that shard, not necessarily the whole emperor, but just that shard. Yeah. That shard wants to gain enough power so it can become big enough, kind of like a germ, and so it can then just start eating all the other little germs, like those games you play on your phone when you're pooping, where you're like the snake thing, you circle the other snake things.
Just to get bigger and bigger.
Just get bigger and bigger. That's how I'm picturing what the Star Child is doing. I can see what you're saying. It's like, you can fight the system. You can truly become this great, powerful, amazing thing. I'm seeing it that you're being leeched by the Star Child to kill the actual emperor and take over.
Oh, wow. To kill the shard, to destroy the shard that is the emperor.
To destroy the other shards. Because if you become powerful enough, you will literally absorb the smaller, weaker shards, and you, as like the Star Child, will be the emperor.
Right. That is very, very, very interesting. Okay, I can understand. Like, the correlation to making this a demon prince is very obvious. Yes. Okay, this is, it's step 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, and 6 are all demon prince type environments, and summoning to the more material realm, it's all very demon princey. But I still see it all as the champions of the emperor. These are sent down. But your mindset or your viewpoint on it is that the emperor is sending these things off to just garner more and more power for itself, this shard of the Star Child, so that it can eventually become what it believes is the best result for humanity, which is a good god.
A good god of chaos.
A good god of chaos. Yeah, right. All right, that's a very interesting one. I did not see it like that. I saw it purely as like this hope. And that's why I'm against it, because I don't like
it's because the you are what the kids call Imperium coded. Like, I'm pretty sure.
I'm proud of it, baby.
That's what the kids call it.
Yeah, they do. They say, hey, Imperium coded. And I say, round them up, put them into a corridor gang.
Yep. Give me the cash.
So, but I guess we sort of, our variation on point here is that I think the lack of hope gives humanity a stronger resolve. Whereas what you're saying is that this almost makes this feel like it's a rogue element of the Emperor.
Yes.
This is something so wild and dastardly that it's actually trying to manufacture a history, manufacture a future that was never supposed to be.
Correct.
It's saying, I'm going to create this because this is the only hope we have to take on the immaterium. It is to become part of it and to use it against itself.
Exactamundo.
I don't like it. I don't like this Star Child. How dare you? How dare you take away what the Emperor built?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a terrible dad. Going back to what we were talking about at the beginning, he's a terrible dad. Even after he's dead, and he's not even like a dad anymore, he's a terrible dad. But that's okay.
See, the Star Child's different. Star Child's not the Emperor. The Star Child is the Star Child, not the Emperor in my mind.
6 of one, half a dozen of another. Now, as the Sensei are considered as a fine example of banditry within the bounds of the Imperium, be it due to their rebellious nature, anti-imperial nihilistic philosophy. I was about to say philosophy, or just due to being unbound psychers. who, even if not in league with chaos, are undermining humanity's defenses against the threats it has to face. Over the galaxy-wide, forces of the Inquisition hunt down those threats to the status quo, and so most of the Sensei are forced to operate as outlaws. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You are offering hope to humanity that is different to the hope we want them to know about. We want them to hope we aren't going to shoot them in the face for, not cleaning their las gun properly, or not saying enough Hail the God Emperors after Mass, or not attending Mass. You offered them hope of they can wake up and make the choice of what they're doing with their lives.
How dare you? How dare you put that same sentence in the talk of the Imperium? Yes, that you've nailed it exactly on the head. Exactly what I think about it. It should not be the 40k that we have is not about going. Once the wars are over, folks, we're going to live this wonderful, beautiful life. And once we've got chaos under control, we can then establish our boundaries to the other xenos races. This is perpetual war. And perpetual war means continuous lack of hope for humanity. It is something that makes the Guard so amazing, is that they know that for hundreds of generations before them, their family has been fighting. And hundreds of generations past them, they will be fighting. Yet they still pick up their rifle and go into combat. Not because there's a chance that this will end, but because it is the duty of them as members of the Imperium.
I just find it really ironic that you said it's perpetual war and the Sensei are immortal, just like perpetuals. So they could effectively just fight forever and it'd be quite cool.
Yeah. Yes, okay, yeah, in that regard. But I don't think... I think what the Inquisition would be doing is going, you can't go spread a different message of the Imperium. You're not allowed to do that. We don't have that, because if you're going to tell us that the Emperor, the form of the Emperor that we have sitting on the Golden Throne, and everything that has come from that is not quite right, you might as well just be starting another heresy. You're and we see that in the Badab War, where Huron Blackheart says, enough. I'm not going to live.
Huron. It was Luft Huron at that point.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Yeah. The tyrant. Yeah.
He did. He wasn't tyrant of Badab yet. He was.
I know.
I will argue this. He was justified in his rebellion. No taxation without representation.
He was the George Washington of 40k. Yep. Okay.
To if by battle barge. Once again, we could probably still blame the French for that, but continue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the notion of this idea that the Imperium can and should be different leads to that breakdown, and so you can understand why the Inquisition are like, you might actually have the better version of the Imperium in mind, but we can't have that happen, because we cannot guarantee that the Sensei will not shatter what we currently have. And will that shattered realm be able to hold off against all the threats that threaten humanity? Probably, maybe, probably not, maybe not. You don't know. It's too much of a risk. It's too much of a gamble. Will it threaten the survival, and I say survival in air quotes here, of the Emperor on Earth? Will the essence of the Sensei, the nature of what the Sensei and the hope of what they bring, does that threaten the Emperor on Earth? Probably. If you on that Inquisition side. So they probably don't want to kill the Sensei, but they certainly would prefer to have them as an organised force. Something, well, when I say
Yeah, but
no.
I think you're going to be upset with the next read.
No. I'm talking about perfect world.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Perfect world.
Yes.
You don't want to kill the Sensei because these are all, elements, shards of the Emperor. Let's keep them all.
Yeah.
But because of that, it makes them hard to keep alive because they all share that drive and that will of the Emperor, especially if they know where they come from.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
So, anyway, you did say next read. Let's go into it
Yes.
so we can just read about everything I just spoke about.
Yes.
Their inherent nature as fighters against oppression and injustice only strengthens their resolve, and so they fight inspiring others to join them and become what is known as adventurer bands, consisting of people, be it human, abhuman, or xenos, who shows themselves willing to stand up against the crimes both chaotic and imperial. While the Sensei are not enemies of the Imperium in and of itself, they are enemies of oppression, often giving them popular support. These adventurer bands may hide in underground caverns deep within cities or lead freedom fighters from the forests and mountains. Others work as pirates, robbing vessels as champions of the poor against the rich. So, again, harping back to what I just spoke about, in this small scale level of like, I'm a pirate, I'm Captain Black Thumb.
Met him once. Honestly, he will absolutely destroy you at a thumb war. It's not that he's strong or skillful. It's just gross, and you don't want to touch it.
It's like you just try to avoid and then that's what happens. He ties your thumb out.
Yeah, you win.
Just rests on you.
You win. Whatever.
So,
sorry. Continue.
So, this small scale sense of hope, it could almost be abandoned for, well, do you know what? That's just some humans rebelling against the system. The threat is, can we get 2, 3, 10 Sensei fighting together?
Yeah.
All with a driven purpose and a goal. And then they liberate a hive world and they stop the oppression of the people and they do the most unheard of thing and they cancel the tithe. They stop supplying to the great machine.
There you are.
There you are. We stop the tithe. And when we stop the tithe, how does our system work? There is no member of the administratum of the Inquisition who could visualize what stopping the tithe would look like. Imagine, and I'm just talking about a double handbrake on it. Just chung chung, done. The tap is off overnight. What happens to the Imperium? Now, it's an impossible scenario to imagine. Even just trickling it down becomes like, well, how is this war machine, how is this civilization supplied? And so now this pirate who is fighting, who has made it very clear that he's fighting against oppression, that's where he draws the attention of the Inquisition, because they go, well, you're not fighting to carve out your own little kingdom. You're not a horrible bastard who, butchers and slaughters his own people. You've got abhumans that don't like oppression either. Okay, you smell very Star Childy. Let us go investigate you. And then we kill all of those around you who aren't Star Children affiliated, and we take you. Now, you are hell-bent that we are the oppressors. Can you ever fight for the Imperium? Probably not. So we need to put a bullet in you. And I harp back to what I was just saying. Would they want the Star Child fighting for the Imperium? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yep.
Imagine the Auto Malleus getting something like this and just being like, mate, what do you need to tick your bingo card to get Ascension?
Yep.
Like, we will help you. We, burn down an orphanage. We got 3 lined up. Just, no, you don't do that type of stuff. Okay, you're one of those weird Star Children affiliates. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to end oppression. Well, it's not going to work with this guy, guys. He's no good. Put a bullet in him. Yeah. So that's where I can see the integration to the modern day Imperium, where I find it almost impossible for this to work in a very small scale. Absolutely, and as an army or a war band, yeah, tick, tick, boom, absolutely. But in the overall arching framework, I love senseis, but they don't belong.
Well, adventurer bands often mirror the rogue trader's crew, although working outside of Imperial law. Beside the Sensei, those bands may consist of any number of rebel human leaders, rebel psychers, abhumans such as squat rebel leaders, ogrins born outside of Imperial indoctrination, rogue navigators, and even some elder, who while never clarify their intentions to walk outside of the safety of their craft worlds, nonetheless see Sensei as a worthwhile ally. The Sensei generally possess strong emotional attachments to their comrades and will return to assist them even after their apotheosis. Besides their adventurer bands, the Sensei may ally with other factions as part of their greater effort against the forces of chaos. These obviously include the Elder, and especially the Harlequins, who wish to closely observe the cause of the Starchild. They may be joined by defectors from the Tau Empire, who have abandoned the cause of the greater good, and view the Sensei and so-called Ronin as the only true hope for a radiant future. Allies normally siding with the Imperium may include the ranks of the Adeptus Astartes, Sisters of Battle, and the Imperial Guard. Like...
You mentioned one there. I was going to say two, but you mentioned one there that deserves an absolute rock hard slap across the top of his power armored hand. How dare he?
No, they would be allying with like Adeptus Astartes battle groups, or they'd be...
you're saying the Sensei is allying with them?
Yeah, those who ally with the Imperium would be sort of allying alongside them. They wouldn't be be saying, hey, Space Marine, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, all right, cool. I when you read it, allies may normally siding with the Imperium. Oh, okay, all right, yes, okay.
Yeah, I know what you heard. Yeah, no, very different, very different.
Okay, because if an Astartes allied with the Sensei, that is going against the Emperor that sired you. That is the shard of the Emperor on Earth, and that is where your loyalty lies, not to this nonsense Star Child. Fake Emperor.
So that second part there, that the allies and that actually came from information released specifically by Games Workshop Italy, and isn't necessarily true lore. But while reading up about it, like I sort of read that and looked at the material that they sort of had for that, and I'm like, I really want to include that. Because
is it because it has a Tau in it? When you read the Tau, I was like,
yeah.
This is pretty recent.
I'm just imagining like the Farsight Enclave fire warriors who've just gone, I've had enough of this greater good, Grox crap, and I'm coming along with this guy. Why? Because he's really handsome and he's talking about some pretty cool stuff, and also I kind of want to hang out with him because he's convinced a bunch of Tyranids that they are really like the Imperium, and I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
That spore mine in the corner, man, he can knock back the whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. They've learnt that translates to another.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
although,
get him another.
I would really like to see a bunch of Ripperjacks just absolutely sloshed on like just good Jameson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like hanging out with an Amble who they've just got annihilated as well.
Oh, just on like Sambuca. Like he's just knocking back bottles of Sambuca. It's like we just keep giving him to it, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Did you see the size of the kebab it ate before? Wow, like that's. It's obscene.
So,
Sorry.
Because I recently got an awesome kebab. So there was a period of time in Melbourne, folks, where you could not get a kebab in the northern suburbs, which is just, if you know the northern suburbs of Melbourne, it's bonkers that you.
It should be only kebabs.
It should be only kebabs, yes, exactly. And I got one recently, and I just had the image of this Amble devouring this garlic sauce drenched thing. Just so you're a beautiful specimen, but we need to put you down because we can only view that once. So this is where the so-called adventurer war bands or adventurer bands. They're cool in the sense that, yes, they're kind of like rogue traders, and they'd probably be able to mask their mission, their objective, whatever, within the realm of I'm operating like a rogue trader. But just like rogue traders, my issue that I have with them is using xenos, is using things that the Imperium is saying no against. Now, with the sense of the rogue trader, you kind of go, well, you're really not doing what the Imperium wants you to do. It's saying no to xenos, and you're doing that. And we talked about this in our rogue trader episode, so I'm not going to harp on it too long, but that's the general gist of how I think about it. With the Sensei, the issue that I have is that the Sensei is not governed by that sense of I need to be fighting for the betterment of the Imperium. So using Xenos technology and all of these things that the God Emperor on Earth is saying is wrong, does that countermand what the Star Child is saying?
No, and it's, in my opinion, it is because of something you said before. It is about balance.
That's the Malal chat.
No,
don't you dare.
But the Star Child is using the Sensei to create power and to create experience and to create knowledge. And as the Star Child absorbs them, strengthening its bond and its grasp into the material realm. That's what it is aiming for. I do not care how you get to the finish line, just as long as you get there. They don't ask you how, they ask you how many. End justifies the means.
Let's forget we're talking about the Star Child and just.
No, these are just things I'm going to say after I lead a military coup and take over the country.
I was going to say this is the same.
What the hell's the Star Child? Sorry.
This is the same way as worshipping corn. I don't care where the skulls come from. I don't care where the blood comes from. As long as it furthers my
the Star Child says,
throne growth.
I don't care where the power comes from, as long as I have it at the end.
See, this makes me believe the Star Child and the God Emperor are two separate entities.
They are. One's a freaking chaos god, and the other is the Star Child.
No, don't you dare. I will wash your mouth out with soap.
But one, genuinely,
Astra Militarum approved soap.
One is
which is a rock.
One is the God Emperor of mankind, and the other is this fragment of his consciousness who represents the Star Child. I'm not being funny. I truly believe they are separate creatures.
But then is what's happening to the Sensei reality?
Yes.
Or a fragment of what? No, I don't agree then. I think they're being sort of led up the garden path a little bit.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
but they are joining with their father.
Of the Emperor.
They are joining with this part of the Emperor, with this father of theirs. It just, unfortunately, is not necessarily the part they thought.
It sounds very, very heretical.
It is. There's literally there's a whole section of the Inquisition out to get them.
I know, but we were talking about hope. We're talking about the Emperor.
There's no hope in 40k.
Oh, don't you do this. You were on that side of the fence before. Don't you dare. Yeah, so, and this harps back to what my point was with the adventurer bands, is that there is no line for them to toe that says we are on board with the mindset of the greater Imperium. Because we talk about oppression, and I'm just thinking, okay, well, if you're talking about oppression, wiping out populations is the worst kind of oppression, so you should be fighting against the Tyranids and the Orcs and so forth. So they become the greater enemy. So why are you fighting against facets of the Imperium? How can they be considered, in the broader brushstrokes of things, more oppressive than something like the Tyranids, you know? But anyway, we're dabbling into something it's a bit like very, 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 very grey and hard to give a definitive outcome in terms of, yes, okay, the Sensei should be fighting for this part of the Imperium, or they should be fighting against this opposition. The concept of what I see as a Sensei is they are implanted into 40k to give us something more hopeful than a powered armoured space marine turning up and defeating the opposition.
Yeah.
You know, they need to be, they are more than just angels of death. They're better than inquisitors. And when I say better, I'm talking about a moral and ethical standpoint. They are there for the ultimate goal of protecting humanity, which is what the Imperium is. The Imperium is there to protect humanity. It just does it in a way that's so dehumanizing and so alien that it looks oppressive. Sorry, I correct myself there. It not only looks oppressive, it is oppressive.
Yes. Yes.
It quacks oppressively. It walks oppressively. They are giving us that hope of humanity can exist outside of that boundary, but it is such a grey area, we don't know what it is.
Yep.
You know, and this is where I'm talking about those big, broad brushstrokes of like, okay, well, collectively the Sensei should be fighting against the Tyranid invasion because they are the most oppressive things to humanity, but they cannot mobilise in that way to take them on. So, yeah. Anyway, we have another read.
We do have another read.
Yes. The Sensei are regarded as dangerous mutants by the Inquisition and assumed to be in league with the forces of chaos. Even if not in league with the forces of chaos, the Inquisition consider the Sensei and their followers as dangerous bandits, nihilists, and psychers who are weakening the bulwark the Imperium has set against the forces of chaos. Thus, the Sensei and their adventurer bands always run the risk of engaging the Inquisition and Imperial forces. Considered an immense threat to the Imperial Order by the Ordo Malleus, counting the Sensei warbands amongst its chief targets. In M41, the Inquisition encountered a group of self-proclaimed Sensei on the world of Levinlaw 4, leading a cult known as the Temple of the Star Child, also known for short as the Star Cult. The temple worshipped the Emperor in the form of the Star Child, while the investigating Inquisitor Fortes considered the possibility that they may in fact have been the children of the Emperor. He rejected the notion due to their association with rebel humans, abhumans, and Eldar. Boom, boom. Validated, vindicated. You are welcome. They do not fight for the Imperium that we understand and that we know. And even, man, this is sad because this is exactly. I'd make a great Inquisitor. I would make a fantastic Inquisitor because I can see this. I can see this for what it is. You have these things out there saying, we fight for the Emperor. Prove it to me. How do you fight for the Emperor? Well, we have Eldar and we fight against oppression and we have a temple and it's got an 8-pointed star. Oh well. I'm going to teach you how to spell a word. It's called exterminatus. Guess how much of it you need to know.
These were people who simply self-proclaimed themselves to be Sensei.
That's dangerous, isn't it? Imagine that. So imagine how hard the Inquisition have to work. And we know the Inquisition are heavily undermanned. Some Inquisition forces only have one person per 7,000.
Then you got those gosh darned map nerds.
Nerds just going, here be Sensei written on their maps.
Yeah, the auto Siri, as I like to call them.
So that's the dangerous part of that, that's self-proclaimed. Imagine if there's somebody who knows of a Sensei and goes, that's me. I'm a Sensei. And then creates a cult following around themselves. and there's no blessing of light from the shard of the Star Child upon them. I'm refusing to call the Star Child the Emperor, by the way, just in case you haven't noticed. There's no blessing of light of the Star Child upon this cult. And so other worshippers come along. Other deities come along to these worshippers and go, oh, you look like you've laid all the foundations for a very, very good church here. Let me give you something to pray to. And very much like you blurred the lines between Khorne and the Star Child, that could quite easily happen. Be like, no. We need martyrs' blood for the Star Child. Well, we know where to get the blood from. Let's go killing. And we need skulls to show our devotion to humanity. These are all the naughty no-goods who were butchering humanity. And within 6 days' time, you now have a Khorne cult. Because these are self-proclaimed Sensei.
So...
Just
yes.
Let me clarify.
Yes.
Let me clarify.
Yes.
And I've clarified before. I like the Sensei. I believe that the Sensei are good. And if circumstances were better, I feel like I'm breaking up with somebody. But if the circumstances were better, the Sensei could very well be involved in the Imperium. But the Imperium we have now, to the God Emperor that we have on Earth, cannot have the Sensei. It can't have them. It's too disruptive. And it's not me, it's you. Go away.
During the Inquisition War, the Dark Master of the Ordo Malleus has established the Eternity Project, whose goal it is to hunt down the immortal mutants. The Sensei of the Temple followed the belief of achieving apotheosis and be granted eternal life and everlasting power by the Star Child. This has led the Inquisition to believe that the cult is similar to the Tzeentchian Thrandos cult, and that the great sorcerer was perhaps masquerading as a Star Child. The cult on Levelnor 4 was exterminated by the Salamander's Space Marine chapter, but there remain other Sensei which did not travel to Levelnor 4. Inquisitor Jacques Draco of the Ordo Malleus had heard the tales of the Emperor's immortal true children as he was being pulled into an Illuminati plot. Ultimately, however, he remained unsure if the Emperor's true children truly exist or not. Once again, we don't know if they were true Sensei. Even the Ordo Malleus are sitting there going, I'm pretty sure that was a bunch of Tzeentchian nut jobs, but just in case, pulls out the Pokeball, I choose you, salamanders! And they just burn, I'm just assuming they burn everything and then cry, because the salamanders are probably the only actual good guys of the Space Marines. And even then, it's a very fine line between good guy and, like, xenocidal monster. They get upset.
Xenocidal monster to me, you might as well just say good guy. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, they get upset when they kill people, but then it's just like, what's that? Eldar children, let's get them.
And not just the children. The cats as well.
Not just the children, but the women, the sand, the cats. Like, we burned them all. We literally glassed a planet.
Yep. And that's the Xenocidal Maniac, that's actually one of their rewards that they offer. Here you are, Sergeant.
You did really good
Sergeant Burninator.
You did really good at burning practice today. Here's a family of Hrud. Go for it.
This is your reward. You get a flamer with unlimited shots, and they get limited room to run. Go get them.
There's literally just one of those oil derricks, like you see them in the oil fields. It's just pumping oil. It's just going straight through a hose into the flamer, and he's literally just burning the ashes. He's just, this is the happiest day of my life.
Love you. I love my Emperor. I love him.
I love my job.
I want to collect the Salamander's army now.
Yeah,
Right.
you would. Yes, I don't believe that was an actual group of Sensei. I think maybe a Tzeentchian cult has been granted the knowledge of the Sensei, or have been told that if they say this, they will gain followers. They will gain the notice of powerful allies or powerful people. Unfortunately, the powerful people was the Auto Malleus, and they technically weren't lied to.
No, they weren't, absolutely not. In the 10,000 page long contract that they signed to Tzeentch, it specifically states that I will never lie to you. And he didn't. And it didn't. And when their immortal soul is being devoured by Tzeentch, they've got nothing to step back on. We're like, no, got me in the fine print, baby.
You got me.
This is on me.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah, got me, boss. Yeah. But that's the danger of the Sensei, is it not? That
Yes.
if you begin to go, okay, and we know that because we have the Grey Sensei.
Yes.
It
Our
feels like about
Malala
7 years
aligned.
ago.
Our Malala aligned
Is that what
chappie.
it's called? Yeah, Grey Sensei. So you have that. Yeah, exactly. The Malala line, but also, potentially Chaos line. So you have the Grey Sensei, which the Inquisition would know about. You have Sensei who might have led lives of I guess, not the most reputable behaviour, and may not have been fighting against oppression until it dawned on them that they were a Sensei. And then suddenly they flip the switch and they become better. Wouldn't that look just a little bit too convenient? So the Inquisition's not only on the watch for genuine Sensei, but Sensei who have led these horrendously powerful immortal lives and not been in alignment with the Star Child. And when they have, they've certainly gone over to the humanity first propaganda. And then they have changed their
you're
ways.
now
But
calling
it's
it propaganda.
It's Star Child propaganda.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's Star Child propaganda. Humanity first is propaganda in the 40k universe, right? It ranks Imperiums, Administratum, Mechanicum, Astartes, and I think about 17th place is humanity. And the Astra Militarum are higher ranked than humanity, so
correct.
So you're aware. But I think the sense of what the Inquisition have to do is very, very difficult. And so it makes sense that they go, just kill them all. And I still hold true to the belief that the Audio Malleus would not want to kill the Sensei. I think they would do absolutely everything in their power to draw in as many Sensei as they could if they could get them to all to align and focus in the same direction. But it's the impossible task. And so the other option, which is much more streamlined and a guaranteed outcome in the sense that you know what's going to happen with the future of the world that you live in, is to wipe them out. If there is no Sensei, there is no problem.
If you can't focus the weapon, we may as well get rid of the weapon.
Exactly, because we cannot trust that it's going to do the right thing. So, look, yes, we have the idea of, no Sensei, no problem. But
one of Bob Marley's lesser known songs. No Sensei, no problem.
I'm actually
no Sensei, no problem.
I'm actually referencing a quote from butchering a little bit, from Stalin, where his quote was "No man, no problem." That was it. Sort of I laugh about it. It wasn't funny at all. The purges that they did. They're like, okay, well, somebody's sort of potentially rising up against us. Okay, well, let's kill them and the entire city block from where they've come from, just to be on the safe side.
How did you manage to bring a podcast about the Warhammer 40,000 universe down to a level where it's actually now quite depressing?
It's
wait, I can save this. I shot the Sensei, and then I shot his whole war band.
Perfect.
I think I did it.
Yeah, you did
I
it.
think I did it.
You brought us back, baby. You brought us back. Now, the next read, we're going to talk about something we haven't actually mentioned a lot of before. It's the Illuminati.
Eldar.
Right. We don't mention Eldar because they're yucky. No, it's the Illuminati, which is...
Yes.
I guess the 40k Illuminati is something similar to modern day Illuminati.
No. It's actually the current Illuminati.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a conglomeration of like high profile business people, bankers, like international spies, men and women of mystery, and they gather together and they control the entire Imperium. And every now and then one of them does the supervillain laugh, and they're just like, oh, this guy.
He drags us down to such a low level. We're not that. We're just superior villains. We're not super villains. It's a completely different thing, and a misconception where us as the Illuminati are having difficulty getting rid of.
Supervillains are such a dumb idea. You know what we should do? What's that? Let's exterminate that whole planet. Love it.
Right. So, yeah, I guess the Illuminati of 40k is, it is this network that exists within the fabric of the normal hierarchies. So your administratums and your mechanical
kind of.
Yeah.
So the Illuminati are a sort of secret society. Now, they exist within the Imperium, but once again, this is very old lore.
Yeah.
And remember, as so many people have said, everything is canon, not necessarily everything is true. They exist beyond any
That's an old
sort of control
statement.
What is?
That what you just said there. Everything is canon.
Everything is, yep, perfect, got it. So one of the things about them is they are known to be illuminated by the fact that they experience demonic possession. So they become possessed, and then through their own will and determination, and I'm assuming like fiery imperial sexuality, they actually expel the demon from their own body.
Yeah,
and like I'm not even kidding. It's via their own like powerful 40k libido. No, they genuinely they become possessed and effectively become a demon host.
Yeah.
And then they, through their own will force the demon out of their body and will join the Illuminati. But that's why they're called the Illuminati, because they have become illuminated.
Yes. So, but that power that they can now sort of draw on warp energy is my understanding of them. Yes. Yeah, they can basically access the warp, which gives them this, the navigator's third eye, but for like a whole society. Yeah,
but they are now immune in their minds to the concepts of the corruption or pollution or temptations of chaos.
Yep.
They are big fans of they deal a lot with stuff like the Harlequins. Yeah. The Harlequins and them get along very well. They had a lot of interaction with Jacques Draco in the Inquisitor War series. Yeah.
So
fantastic.
Anyway, the reason we mention that is it's important to our next read, which is the Illuminati's goal. So the Illuminati's goal is to renew the fading body of the Emperor before the Star Child ventures too far from its physical body. When his soul will finally relinquish all tethers to his corpse, he will be reborn. And with this, humanity will be plunged into the hands of chaos before he returns in a different form. They stand a hidden vigil over the Emperor's body, ready to stop this from happening if the Emperor's will finally will fade. For this end, they gather all the newly found Sensei before they can be guided by their older cousins, convincing them to join the Illuminati under a pretense of training them to participate in the final battle against chaos, inducted into the so-called Brotherhood, with the Illuminati even helping to establish a long watch of Sensei Knights who will participate in this false last battle against chaos. Illuminati, however, believe that the life force of the Sensei is what could return the Emperor's body to its prime, and they plan to sacrifice them at the pivotal moment in which the Emperor is to fall. Now this is a good...
Go on your rant. Go on your rant. Get it out of your system.
This is a good plan. This is the kind of hope that we need in 40k. Utterly baseless, false hope. They're saying, come together, because when we're together with us, the Illuminati, and you, the Knights of the Emperor, or the Long Watch of Sensei Knights, we are going to be able to defend the Emperor. We are going to be able to do what's right. And all they're doing is saying, we click that counter over to 10,000 Sensei, and we swing the axe. And their essence should all go back to the Emperor. We don't know how, when, why, or will it actually work, but this is a good plan, because that is that proper grim, dark, false hope that we live for in 40k. That moment where you go, but the Emperor's coming back. Oh, yeah. He's coming back. He's coming back.
For sure, dude.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Up against that wall real quick. Just what do you mean? No, just I reckon if you push against that wall real hard, I don't think you'll be able to push it over. Well, we'll give it a... Well, what are the custodians doing? Don't worry about them, mate.
Yeah.
Don't worry, just push the wall.
Yep. Push the wall, baby. You'll be all right. It's fine. So, I have no problems with this plan because
you're a bad person.
How is this a bad person's plan? This makes sense.
See, no, it doesn't. It does make sense from what they're saying. Now, I'm going to do my last read here, and then I'm going to rebut what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
So, just as he was born in ages long past from the souls of ancient shamans, the new man will emerge anew as a Sensei Emperor to lead mankind. Their plans are kept secret even from the Emperor, as the Illuminati believe that the Emperor would be mortified by the concept, instead opting for the abandonment of humanity if he ever was made aware of their scheme. Zephyro Carnelian, a member of the Illuminati, has speculated that as divisions exist within the Illuminati between the mainline members and the Ordo Hydra, there may be another sect of the Illuminati attempting to establish a true Long Watch. So,
yes,
they already recognized that they couldn't tell the Emperor their plan about sacrificing all his grandbabies to give him additional life, because they're like...
Let me clarify. Maybe give him additional life. They don't know if that plan will actually work.
They don't know if it's going to occur. No, they don't. That's exactly it. And they're just like... If we get enough people who are genuinely trying to be good guys, like tiny human salamanders, and they're trying to do the right thing, if we trick enough of them into basically becoming like top flight security guards for the Emperor, because you know they're going to be in the throne room staring down pissed off custodies, and these are rogue trader era custodies, so they're basically... like murder machines that have just been spray painted gold. Like, they're basically the war boys from Mad Max. They're just spraying their face with gold spray paint and headbutting Ogrins to death. But these poor Sensei are in there with them, and they're just like, oh, God. Oh, Grandpa. What have we done? This guy's staring at me like I'm some sort of meat popsicle. And I think I've made a terrible error. Like, Grandpa doesn't like this, and I get it. The whole for somehow, if the Illuminati have discovered that the Emperor was created by the into the entire planet's worth of shamans, all taking their own lives at the same point. So they were reborn into a single human form. The concept is rock solid.
Yep.
But it's like not real rock. It's made of marshmallow.
Yeah. So when you say rock solid, you mean this is a half-baked idea that comes about from a notion.
This is batter in a bowl.
Yeah.
This is batter in a bowl. It's not even half-baked.
It's a nonsense concept of, well, all we've got to do is kill all the kin that we can amass of the Emperor.
Yes.
And we will give him new energy and life. Where is the evidence to prove that? Oh, there's none. Okay, well...
Where's the what?
Get him! He said the E word! He said the E word! Get him, Illuminati, guys! It's just him and three
and that's
sock
the thing.
puppets.
The sensei would be like, no, the Illuminati are telling us this guy's a bad guy. Like, you know, because I'm picturing them almost as a very naive group. They've been told that we're doing our best to save the Imperium, and you can help us, because at the end of the day, you're someone who wants to do the right thing, and you can do the right thing by helping us, you know, protect the Emperor. And they're like, yes, we love this, let's do it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to feed you into this. You go down this slide, which is a super fun, happy slide, like that episode of The Simpsons, the Halloween episode, where they go down the slide and it's basically just a huge meat grinder. That's how I picture this. Like, the Illuminati know what they're doing is wrong, which is why they're hiding it even from the Emperor.
The notion that they need to hide it from the Emperor, because they're just like, if he finds out what we're doing,
he's going to be big mad.
He's not going to be very happy with us. Like, he might be happy, but we're pretty certain he's not going to be happy. So that, to me, screams to the notion that they go, we're having a good guesstimation of what the right path is to do with these sensei.
Yeah.
The Inquisition already know that they can't utilise the Sensei. They know it's not...
Correct. 100%.
And not a viable thing. So their option is wipe them out. I still stand firm to the fact that I believe the Ordo Malleus would like to do what the Illuminati are doing. They just don't have the resources or capacity to take on that, because they're dealing with beings who really only the Illuminati are at about the same level. So...
Yes.
I still think there is an element of hope and truth within the Inquisition about being able to do the right thing by the Sensei. But the plans of the Illuminati are in the same mindset, in the same vein as what I'm talking about, the Malleus, Ordo Malleus, gathering up members and using them, utilising it. Except it's a really good plan in the sense of, let's gather them together. Yeah, let's pool the resource. Let's get all these minds that understand their place within the universe and that they understand the Emperor. Maybe better than us, we don't know, but definitely at certain levels and scales. Let's pull them all together. That part of the plan, tick. Well done. Fantastic job, guys. Everything else past that plan is just...
Silly Billy.
Rolling a dice, hoping that this works. The better utilisation of the Sensei in this regard would to be actually have an order of Sensei Knights that they can then deploy to the most horrendous parts of the universe, and actually use them to fight against the forces of chaos. And, you know, the problem with my idea is that you begin to take away what makes the Sensei themselves, and that is that, I guess, individuality and that sense of them being able to look at an oppressive situation, take control of it. Instead, you're now utilising them as yet another tool in the arsenal of the Imperium. So,
hear me out, okay?
I'm hearing you out.
It's going to be wild.
Yep.
Put them in the Inquisition. Just be like, hey, you're in the Inquisition now, baby. we're going to turn you into an Inquisitor because you're already better than the majority of actual people. We're going to put you in the Malleus, the Hereticus, the Xenos. What's that? You're really good friends with a bunch of Eldar? Well, done. Go be friends with them. Use them to further our ideals. I'm not saying brainwash the Sensei into sort of being super pro-Imperial, but brainwash the bastards. Convince them that what they need to do is protect the Imperium, protect Grandpapa. Like, old Pappy Big E really needs your help. And, you know, he's always said to us that you're his favourite. So what you need to do is convince a bunch of people, including old Billy Spormine, to surround the Eye of Terror and just go to town. Like, so, you know, they are a ready-made weapon.
Yeah,
they are right there.
Yeah. And I had one issue with what you were saying just about that, but you did clarify that you just have to brainwash them.
You have to brainwash them. You have to somehow bend them to your will. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
If they are part of the Inquisition, they're going to see the oppression firsthand. They're going to see the brutalization of humanity, which is what they inherently are rebelling against, or that they're trying to protect humanity from, is what the Imperium is doing to them, basically. But this further just makes me feel like the essence of the Star Child is separate to the physical body of the Emperor. And it's obvious that they are separate to each other, but I'm saying, like, it's almost like it is completely separate. That the Emperor that is the Star Child is not the Emperor that sits on a golden throne. Even in the sort of the ideology, even in the sort of the ethical understanding of what humanity should be, I think the Star Child, as I mentioned earlier, would like to hit a reset button and say, let's take it from there. Now, if those Sensei are listening to that or are in touch with that voice of the Emperor, being part of the Inquisition is just going to give them the tools to take down the current Imperium. So the brainwash them is the only way to do it. And I mentioned earlier in the episode that they are such an oddity within the Warhammer 40,000 universe. There is no clear path for the Sensei to eventually become, you know, an understandable part of the 40k universe, because they are such an oddity, because they are rebelling against the very notion of what the Imperium currently is, but they're doing it with the word of the Emperor in their mind, and so it's just bonkers, you know.
Sorry, no, we're talking about the Sensei, not the word bearers.
Yes, yeah, you are right. That's a very, very a good line to draw between the two of them. Yeah, but you said no. That was that part of the Emperor that said that to
Shut
me.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
So,
shut your mouth.
Yeah, I think I love the Sensei. I think they're freaking awesome. They just don't fit into my 40k, which is a dangerous thing.
Inside every Sensei, there are two wolves. One wants to serve the Emperor. One wants to date Eldar chicks. The Emperor is disappointed.
That's a good quote to end it on. Yeah, what a fantastic quote.
That should have been the quote.
So, yeah, look, I just think I want to see them. I want to see them because it's a fun aspect of the lore that we don't get to touch on, really. You know, when we talk about the religious nature of what the Emperor has become, it's kind of like praying to a god that's not listening, and that's a bit sad. Whereas the Sensei are saying, no, your god is listening. Don't worry, he's here. Look at me. I've got directly. Look at this Spormine. This Spormine used to hate us. Now look at him. He plays fetch.
Yeah, he has to play fetch a very long way away because if the ball accidentally hits him, that's how we lost Billy.
Yeah, exactly. And I love spawn mine pets, so I always take on hive fleets and I just convert their spawn mines. So
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that something so cool is, I think, probably destined to be on the very fringes of humanity, of 40k.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I would love to see them in modern 40k. I would love to. It would be so good. Just bring back some of this, this silly sort of like 40k nonsense of the old days, and I'd love to see it, but it's a little bit too grimdark for modern 40k, I believe. It's like the nihilist, just insanity that is the Sensei, where they're like, hey, we are really just wanting to do the right thing and help people out and do it all. And if I do it enough, the Emperor sees me and grants me these powers and I become stronger and I can do more good and I've been granted more and I'm making friends with, tyrannid creatures. And check it out, this gargoyle sits on my shoulder like a parrot and it's great. And that's my friend, Grux Skull Chewer. He's actually my barber. And, oh no, I've got 6 sort of blessings of the Emperor, and now I'm a goddamn demon prince. And my cousin over there joined up with this group called the Illuminati, and he got headbutted to death by a custode. And now, oh wait, no, that's not the real Emperor. It's a fragment of him. And Lorgar was right. Oh God, Lorgar was right.
Great summary of the episode. I couldn't have said it better myself. But yeah. I think that notion of the Sensei is unfortunately all we can have of them is a notion of them within 40k, because if you want the Sensei in 40k, the mirror needs to be shone directly onto the Imperium and all of its failings need to be shown. And us as consumers of the lore and us as consumers of the IP, you can't, if you've got the Sensei in the 40k universe, you can't say to your Imperial Guard army, go forth and wipe out the opposition. Why? Why are we fighting for something that the Sensei have shown us is not what the Emperor wants, is just completely warped and not beneficial to humanity? So that sense
says you.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Imperium is not beneficial to. That's what I'm saying.
The Imperium is not beneficial for humanity.
And that's what I'm saying. So, from a lore point of view, you're talking about guard armies and space marines and sisters of battle all going, this is the status quo we fight for, and yet there's Sensei floating around the universe that it becomes so prevalent and known about that they're saying, this is not right. This world you live in is absolutely... Well, what motivates these troops to fight? They don't want to fight anymore, other than survival. And survival is not enough in 40k. It needs to be about some sort of higher purpose, some sort of greater good.
100%. Yeah. 100%. I saw where you were going, and yeah. I want to be an Earth Case member.
Casting, yep. Right, so yeah, that was the last read.
Now, do we do a gang idea or do we do a army idea?
Oh, I don't really know. This is a rogue trader idea. I think you would be building a Sensei based on the fact.
Okay, here, your Sensei. Give us 5 members of your little Sensei warband.
Okay. A guard veteran.
Of course.
A sister of battle veteran.
Yep.
A hive welder. And 2 other generic humans. And my Sensei particularly understands that balance is brought about by wiping out xenos forces.
Listen, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad.
You set a very low bar, sir. I did not need to scale high within the idea train to come up with what I wanted to do there. So who are your five members? And none of them could be only one of them could be a spore mine.
Okay, well, I would do the Malala aligned Sensei, and
of course, yeah.
I would have a champion of each of the main four Chaos Gods.
Yep.
Basically, defeat them, offer them redemption, and take their warband as your own. So they basically become part of a larger force. And the fifth member would be a spore mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's
and it just sits behind them, just at all times.
And it's painted black and white.
It's painted black and white.
Actually, like they take time out to make sure they paint funky black and white designs. No, if on a serious note, if I was to put a member into a Sensei warband, I would go for something along the lines of like do you know, like a Trazen? So this person this entity that knows so much about the old universe, and I think that's something that the Sensei would try and draw over to them. So like a record keeper from the Necrons.
Yes.
They would be able to talk to them about the old universe and what it was like well before. The other one that I would put in there is a Thunder Warrior that the Sensei is able to...
Oh, you suck. That's awesome.
The Sensei is able to, I don't know, keep alive, so the Thunder Warrior is not having to constantly consume genetic material just to stay alive. So this connection that they have with the Emperor, and the Star Child is whispering in the ear to say, like, kill that thing. That wasn't me. I didn't make them. I found them, and they got really angry and killed stuff, and I don't know what happened. But yeah, I would have a Necron sort of librarian sort of record keeper thing, a Thunder Warrior, and then probably like an old orc. And I talk like, do you remember? The orcs that were like super smart, super strong.
The Croc.
The Croc, yeah, that's it. So they would be, I think, key members of this warband. So this Sensei is trying to discover the old universe, because the old universe has answers to what humanity, what it really should be, where it pushes away from its oppression, and something similar to the golden age of technology, where they were able to just expand and explore and become better and better and better, until they were stuck in the quagmire that became the Imperium.
I hate it because you didn't include a spore mine.
The spore mine is always included. That's
no, it's like a cherub servitor.
Yeah.
It just floats around behind you.
And the Necron would have made would have got a little tomb spider and absolutely mangled it to now be a pet friend to the spore mine, but it also looks like a little spore mine as well. And it's so angry.
Just imagine the Necron just elbows the Sensei, be like, I love watching our kids play together. What? Like, look at them. They're both, and the spore mine's just sort of floating there. The little scarab thing is just on the wall, like, scratching its little legs.
No, I imagine...
They just have such fun together.
I imagine the scarab got converted to resemble the spore mine. So,
oh my god! So it floats with it.
It floats with it, but it hates it because it just wants to be back to like a little scarab. It's just
perfect. Perfect.
Where's my scratchy legs? I have stupid dumb tentacles that don't scratch. I'm so angry about this. When I find a tomb world, I'm waking them all up and they're killing just you, Mr. Librarian, historian, architect, non-sanctioned engineer.
And I'm now picturing that whenever the mines are floating outside the Necrons, because the Necron's completely eccentric. It's like, make sure you put a coat on. Are you wearing your good boots? And the rest of the warband's looking at this Necron like, what is this? Boss, he is insane. He's like, yeah, but
he knows a lot of stuff.
he's right. They should be wearing their coats.
And just like stops them before they're about to go on an adventure and just be like, now who needs to do a wee? Who needs to do it? I'm not stopping.
We are not stopping.
We need to go. We need to evacuate this planet right now. But we need to do wheeze. So no weeing on the battle barge. Just wheeze now. Okay, guys? You don't need to do a wee. We're not stopping. Scarab mine. Don't call me that. Okay. Scarab mine. That's your new name. Do you need to drain some fluids? No. Okay. Fine.
Every parent listening to this is just like, he's joking, but it's the conversation we have every time we go anywhere.
Yep. 100%. That would be, including the Spore Mine, my 4 members. And the 5th is probably some generic elder.
The Emperor. The 5th is always the Emperor.
Just a cardboard cutout the Sensei makes them do up like before every engagement. They're like, this thing, we have to drag it around, it gets destroyed, it gets shot up, like it gets mangled, and you make us save it every single time. It's like, this is your challenge. This is what we're really here about, is about bringing the Emperor back, and we need the Emperor. We need a representation with us. So rather than make it out of steel or anything like that, they just make it out of cardboard. It's easier. And it gets destroyed every time. And then they make the Thunder Warrior redo it every single time. He's so angry every time he has to make the Emperor. Like, you kill my mates.
Was it Mount Ararat they were all killed at?
I don't know, somewhere in Victoria. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm a big fan of your insanity. The Battle of Mount Ararat.
They're from Ararat, mate.
No,
died at Ararat, mate. Ararat.
It's a real place here in Victoria.
It is a real place.
I've been there before.
And people who are from Ararat don't pronounce it as Ararat. They pronounce it as Ararat. Hey, mate. Ararat.
Yeah.
Just down the road from bloody, what is it? Bloody Toowoomba. Yeah. Yeah, Ararat, mate.
All right. That's been a really good short episode.
Yeah, it's a short one.
The only people we've managed to insult in this are people from Ararat, but that's okay. They don't have the internet yet. So
they'd just be happy with
Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan. What have you thought about because you this whole time have just been staring at me like I'm actually going to tell you that we're doing an episode on the Harad or something.
So are you asking for final thoughts? Is that what's happening right now? You are, I know.
No,
you just
I'm asking you,
it.
what have you thought about learning a little bit about the Sensei?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's a part of the Imperium that in games of 40k you'll probably never ever see unless you make your, balance army. But in terms of Necromunda and worshipping and cults and all these things that we can delve into a little bit deeper, I think there is potential for a Sensei or a Sensei alike or a Sensei adjacent type lore that you can bring into Necromunda 100%. And I adore it. I think it's amazing. It just doesn't have a place. That's all.
Yeah, it just doesn't have a place anymore. Mount Ararat, by the way, is in Turkey.
Yeah, it was named after the place.
It's where Noah's. Yeah, exactly. It's where Noah's Ark was from. Noah's Ark famously started in Victoria, Australia, and wound up in Turkey.
It did. So you're saying to me the final battle or the massacre of the Thunder Warriors happened at the place where I guess God spoke to Noah and said, "This is what you need to save the world."
Yes, and to save the world, the Emperor needed to get rid of the Thunder Warriors.
And he killed them 2 at a time.
Yep.
Bought this boat 2 at a time. It's not a boat. That's a firing line.
That's a slide down to that meat grinder we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
Okay. On that note, I don't even have a quote. What was the one I said before? Inside every Sensei, there are 2 wolves. One wants to serve the Emperor. One wants to date Eldar chicks.
That's it.
The Emperor is disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's a...
and also, we need to give people more notice for the birthday episode.
Oh, yeah.
First episode of September.
First episode of September, folks. If you haven't listened through to the end of this, then you don't know and you've let yourself down. If you have listened to the end of this, you've got fair warning. So don't get it wrong.
And if you mention in your entry that it was the first episode of September, we guarantee that you will be acknowledged by us personally as I look at it and say, this person listened.
Yeah. And remember, what we want from you this year is romantic stories about Sensei meeting members of the Tyranid fleet. That's what we're going for, wasn't it?
It was love. I want to meet cute between a Sensei and a spore mine.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what we want for the competition.
They bump into each other, one falls in love, the other explodes, coating the other in acidic bile. That's it. I bought myself a gang box. No, we want action. We want
baby.
an action movie scene. Yeah. Excellent. We will do an actual post about this. So we're aiming for the first episode of September. So yeah, we'll give if maybe the week before, the last week of August. I was about to say July. The last week of August, get it to us by then. Until then, thank you so much for listening. Nathan should be actually back in normal recording mode soon. We can get back to some big episodes. Nathan, what are your closing thoughts? I'm kidding. Goodbye, you beautiful Gregories. Everyone have a lovely day.
See yous.
All right, Mamma Jammers, my favourite part of the episode is here once again, where I get to go over the people I actually care about. And then when I've finished that, I start reading out all the people who follow us on Patreon. We have Tim, Helmore's Teeth, Bone Storm, Tristan Boring. Doesn't seem like a boring person, actually. Bob Nolan, Zeke10N, or Zekian, Zekian? I don't know. Zeke, Craig Patterson, Chris Clapham, Stuart Duncan, Pagum, David Thrift, Luca Munda, Mike Wright, Tim Sambrook, Grellin, Gregory H7, Mitch Cohen, Evan Wijninga. I'm guaranteed to have mispronounced your name there, dude. Please correct me. Alex Larkham, Jim Bobley, Vijay Patasapu, Pete Mills, Finside the Underhive, Dusty Cousins, Uruk Hayo, I love that name, Fellraven 42, Mark Dewhurst, TW Modelars, Dragon Rager, Sable, also Dan, Greybeard Craftings, Kieran Maddock, Jaden, Friedrich, Jake Alexander, John Roll, Darnell K, Brian Eppelheimer, Mercier Majewski, Fritz, Lord Stormcrow, Busendorfer, Sean S, Dan, Brian Vickery, Kuba Sternad, Kuba Sternad, STRNAD, Strengthnad, Kuba Strengthnad, The Predator, Aaron Miller, Dashbow Terrain, Des Ryan, Tabletop Ready, Clive, Michael, Pete Gatrick, Pete Gratrick, Mohawk Monkey, Stefan Silent, Sprue Whisperer, Josh Langworthy, David Code, Nick O'Time, Jorn Giebner, Brent, Tao Hansen, Drew D, Dan Hansen, JK, Rowling? Or just JK? I don't know. You're a wizard, JK. Nira, Not Richard, Josh Manning, Owen Bebb, Stefan, Heftats, Rick Lovey, Underhive Thalric, Owen Bebb, Sam Bridges, Stephen Livingston, Draknar, Rob Vanderpost, Frogenstein, Dewey Sherwood, Peter McGlone, The Elusive Badger, Simon Hansen, Kilgore, CJ McClellan, Kenzie, Fabio Vorheim, David Lindsay, Mike Bright, Will, DC Liska, Guka Minis, Yardi Scruntherder, Ian of the Endless, Painting Pieman, Procrastinated Painting, Vermin, Tuka Kaikinen, Family Geek, Triple Whammy. Now, Nathan's going to jump in and read out the next group of them. No, he's not, because I love you more than he does. Dr. Fishy No, Dean Richards, Matthew Barron, Josh Penfold, Ashley Kaufman, Ian Sinnott, Brian Shaw Saltbeard, Charles Grant, Guillermo Castaneda, Lord Bobbington, Daniel Smith, Perp Miniatures, Dean Richards, Ivan Bragg, Maddie Pugh, Horsekull, Alex Hart, Clayton Curry, Tad Mercer, Philippe Sampson, Wargammer in the Dark, From Somewhere, Alistair Z, Alfonso the Trader, Simon Westlake, Chad Buttman, Lloyd Goldsmith, Jonathan Blake, Jordan of Great Scott Hobbies, Hive Builder, Tom Davies, Matt David, Joe Bates, Stuart Wicks, someone whose name is just Member, Ed Strickland, Mike Stewart, Whispering Fog, James the Week, Goran Sandstrom, Bo Stevenson, Nate M, Mikhail Levis, Karkuna, UK, or Dan, Josh Reynolds, Brian Byers, The Clown Grinder Cultist, Necro Macho, Samson Kennedy, Kelly Gator, Josh Reynolds, Grant Train, Treasy, Sandro Noblich, Dacamatic, Life in the Ruins, Nicole, Justin Hawkins, Michael Stewart, Patrick Winter, Bella Malleus, Glenn Wilkinson Duff, Roger Range, Silent Key, Daniel, Jason, Jimmy Marshall, Rob Hacker, Gardner Seekins, Joss Branfus, Scott N. Lahaney, Axel 1313, Eamon, Bo, Eric McKenzie, Boss Muppet, Tom Hoddle, Brad Gilliant, John Cochran, Sean Leary, Rob Knight, Joe Roberts, Craig Duff, Jeremy K, Kaylin Novak, James W, Vote for Pedro, Chris Vasiliades, Adeptus Aquinas, Damien B. Winterburn, Jeff Nelson, Christian Jench, NetSurfer 733, Alex, John Baisley, Brum, Sean, Dr. Toe, baddest dentist in all the Underhive, Beatest Dad Studio, Lost Dog, Adam Kapjarowski, 3 Yogas in a Trench Coat, Paul Walsh, Jason Turner, Gabriel Campbell, 50 Shades of Null, Amelia, Gildersford Radio, Cygnus Maximus, Damian Davis, Adam James Bruin, Adam Hicks, Danny Harrison, Chris Batty, Poseidon's Kiss, Jim Bulb, Luke Dyson, Trent Duncan Jones, Genghis, Parney Mauser, Michael Brown, William Payne, Tom the One Punch Orlock, Joe, Hive Scum Wonka, Pylon, Tim Harrison, Harry Gregory Sump Mariner, love you Bob, Morbid Progeny, Hive Market Minis, Jason Sklina, Alex, the 108th, Morja 477, Dave Grant, Alex Adams, Overlord Bleak, Kieran Sweet, Barks, Ryan Taylor, The Tired Ape, Hotshot Grot, David Soden, Ben Davidson, Jesse Barden, Simon Bizarowski, The Hobby Jedi, and William Young. Thank you very much to each and every one of you for supporting us. For anyone else who's still listening and isn't on our Patreon, we're not angry, we're disappointed. Inside you there are 2 wolves. One wants to support us, the other wants to support us. Support us, or we're calling animal rights communities to put you in jail. Help the wolves, people. Help the wolves. Or don't, just give us money. That's really the aim of this. No, thank you, every single one of you. And this has gone a long time, and in case you can't tell, about halfway through, I really needed to pee. So I'm going to go do that now. Bye, Gregories.